Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. It's London time, and we are exactly at it's 1 minute to 2, so we're on time. We are on time. Let's go. Oh my God, yesterday was a weird day. I mean, it was not a nice day to trade, but there were opportunities, and apparently some people did really well. I did well in the afternoon. I did lose one of my funded accounts, but full transparency. I was being really stupid, but I made it back with the rapid challenge because that's the thing with the rapid. You can, you know. But yeah, it sort of sucked. I mean, I was very disappointed in myself, to be honest. I should not have engaged until 11 o'clock for sure. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into it. How's it going? Let's have a look what Asia has been doing so far, and it's 2 o'clock. Let's see what the injection of volatility is giving us, and if we can make any logic out of it. In hindsight, it was pretty clear what happened, right, with the high that was made in London, but it took such a long time before it moved down that caused some confusion. But if you look at the data, just the time that things happen, just need to trust it more because it all lines up with just the structure that I've been sort of like studying. But it was really weird that it just took a long time before it really moved. We had a lot of consolidation after the high was formed in London, right? And then you start doubting yourself. Hey, Stephen, how are you doing? Good morning, good morning. How's it going? Did you trade yesterday? Oh my God. Do I need to go downstairs? Hold on. Is there a war going on between the animals? No, I don't think so. Well, okay, let's go. Let's go. It's still morning here, by the way, Stephen. It's 9 o'clock here, by the way. So it's nice and early. You're busy with uni and doing good. Good. What do you study? I can't remember if you told me, to be honest. If you did, my apologies. Um, but hey, it's good to do your studies and in the meantime, just, getting into the trading. I mean, you are being fine. Once you get get the hang of it, you can always have another stream of income, right? Okay, let's have a look. Pum. We'll start with NQ. Gold was ugly yesterday, guys. Oh my God. I couldn't even look at that chart, to be honest. It was so weird and it was just, so I didn't even look at it. I did do some journaling just to look what was happening, but I didn't really journal actively because I didn't see anything. Okay. First thing I'm seeing that we are now at an NWOG, and we're at the event horizon at NQ and the 4 hour. We have a new candle coming. We took a previous week low. Okay, there we go. So you can see it here. I've got it automated. Previous week low. And the Asia low is right over here. So let's see. Hey, Kieran. I have no idea. To be honest, Kieran, I'm just getting actually really doing my analysis. To be honest, I would be lying if I would say, oh yeah, I'm looking for a short right now. I'm actually thinking we've got a new 4 hour candle coming. Asia low is right below us. Now, you know what happens a lot with Asia lows so close that they might make another equal low and then they would leave it for later on. So I just want to see what happens. We did take an event horizon here, so that's the midpoint between two NWOGs, and they're already going below it. But I was wondering if we would see the 4 hour first go up to create the manipulation wick and then go down, but it could do the opposite, take liquidity and then go back up. So at this moment, I'm not really sure. I just want to see if it's going to take this Asia low or is it going to create an equal low. Because that's what they do a lot of the times, right? Like, and especially if you can have that on the 4 hour. Well, we did take out the 4 hour, but that was for the previous week low, so we took that. So that's kind of a big grab of liquidity. But let's see what they want. If I'm looking at AMD as accumulation, then the 2 a.m. move is the manipulation, and then we get the distribution to the upside. So that's a scenario I'm looking into. So I don't want to be too fast with my analysis, like saying, okay, we took previous week low, so we're going up, but you don't know how far down they want to go. Let's look on the 4-hour. So for me, this is just I'm just gonna collect some intel at the moment. I'm just not sure. But hey, 230. They might have another leg down and then 230 create a low, right? That could be a scenario. So we could have one more leg down. But we do have some equal lows here. So yeah, it's just gonna run. I think it's just not done yet because we've got these equals here. Yeah, I would rather see them make a low after 230. So I think we have to be. I think it's going to be a short until 230, but you have to be careful now because I took previous week low and we took the London low now. Sorry, I mean Asia low. Yes, we did. So we took Asia low. Previous week low. Are they done, right? Are they done with it? Let's see. Let's see. We do have a fair value gap here now. Now, mind you, Asia high is we had quite a run right on NQ in Asia, to be honest. That could mean that we could have a very low probability session. Asia run from 960 to it's over 300 points, right? So I don't know, guys. It's not that's a lot for Asia. We don't want to see that actually. We don't want to see that. But we don't want to see that. I would be inclined to think that they might make another low between 230-ish after 230. So it's just a fool. They're just gonna create more liquidity. It's a hard read. Not an easy market, guys. Let's see. Let me go have a look at the 4-hour. Let me do some calculations here. We could look for a change in state. Let's see in the 15-minute if we get a change in the state of delivery. See, if you have a structure like this, right, how would you get a change in state of delivery like this? It's sort of like looks like it wants to go further down, right? Even though it will go all the way back up. Now we do have a breaker here. We could have this as a then it is possible, but it just doesn't look like it's ready to go fully up. Let me just do potential breaker there. This is going to be the breaker for the future breaker. So we have to keep this in mind, this area here. But I think we're going to make maybe another low. Just want to see what the manipulation, how much standard deviation this has been. Almost 2. Okay. 2 exactly. Okay, so it could be done. Let me just take it from a higher point. They're the same. Three. Okay. So now in that fair value gap, right? Let's see. So this was Asia. I'm just trying to see what we're going to do. I think with the it's Tuesday today, right? I wonder if it will sweep the low of October 13. That will be. Let me have a look. Yeah, look. If you look at this structure, right, it doesn't look like it's ready to move up, right? Look at this for a 15-minute structure. How are you going to get your 15-minute change in state delivery? Look at what they did right now. Almost, it's just sort of a minor sweep. If you look on the higher time frame, it's not really. It's just such a minor. Let me have a look at the daily quickly. Let's some more data. Oh, we're gonna do some wicking. We're gonna do some calculations, guys. Yes, we need to do that. Oh, I need to hold on. I need to hold on. There's a war. Hey. Sorry about that, guys. You must have heard that. Um, some cats fighting. I just want to make sure that they weren't mine cats. Yeah, did you hear it? Yeah, I was just. I'm like, okay, this is like really. This is like a gang. There's a gang of, but mine are just too. They were just like looking like, oh my god, what's going on? I just want to make sure that they were not involved. Did you hear it? Yeah. I mean, they make so much noise. It's so horrible. I mean, it's like basically sometimes there's nothing really going on. They just like sort of like and they're like, my God, such a drama always. But anyway, everything good. Yeah, they're very. I mean, it's horrible sound. I hate it. I don't like it. But hey, I love cats though. No, but mine are okay. Just wanted to make sure that they were not involved. Because mine are not fighters. If they get into a fight with really stray cats, well, one is half African wildcat. She'll be fine. But my other one is half Maine Coon, and she's a princess. She doesn't. But I might underestimate her though. Okay, let's see. I might underestimate her. Yeah. Okay. 214. This is the daily candle. Okay, so the daily candle has already been expanding. Now, what do we expect of the daily candle? So this large wick, this is the 50%. We have not yet met that yet, but I found out something with these wicks. we have candles like the bodies are lower. I lower it a little bit because I think this one is already, even though this is here, but I'm still testing that. So we'll get back to you guys if I find anything important on that. But let's get back to the 4 hour. Yeah, so you're looking at these runs, right? You're looking at these. But so what I'm looking at, if good morning, Marco. So Stephen, if I see these lows, this is first a rejection block for me. So I would like to see on the lower time frames at first a few rejections and how they react. Then I can at some point I think, okay, now it's liquidity, right? At this moment, it's not liquidity yet because we still have this point to take and maybe even one more because it's such a large wick. So if I look at that, at first like, okay, now it has a purpose and it's a rejection. So, but it could be, yeah. I mean, look at this, it's all equal. And even though you have one here, they still use these, but now we have got other ones. Now you see this low has been taken, right? But it's also similar to here. I noticed that they sort of like goes back as well. It keeps using old highs and lows as points of liquidity. Okay, let's see. Here we go. I want to see how much. Look at this end walk. How much we have been doing in this end walk. It's not much, right? Just a wick into it, and here just a body, not even getting into the 25%. Let me grade this here. The bodies, they have not even. So this is, I guess, we've got some work to do here. It's actually two end walks, I see, but one large one and I guess a smaller one inside. Okay, we're getting another leg down now. Yes, as expected. We're not surprised by that. I guess we're going into the end walk here. 33%. What time is it? 2:16. Yeah, like I said, I don't think there will be a low created before 2:30. Because I've been tracking this too, the 1:50 to 2 a.m. move for a while, and always when I see a downward move in the 2 a.m. It's either a continuation or when it's consolidation, it doesn't come out of consolidation. Let me put it that way. So if I see this here, when I look at so it's 1:52.10 macro that I've been tracking. So when it comes out of consolidation, you can expect a continuation move, but then the 2 a.m. starts that move. That's what my journal tells me. Listen, there can always be new scenarios because I'm still tracking it, but let me highlight it so you guys can see it. You can really start seeing things if you do this, and you start to see some things happening. Oh, consolidation, and yeah, sort of like a mini AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? So, and this is the start of the distribution move because we have a manipulation move which goes up into a fair value gap. So I'm expecting a little bit of continuation move, but not too much because it's not the start of a market maker. We're at the first stage of accumulation. This is well, not really, I guess. This is not really well, it is a market maker by a full one, but let's look on the higher time frame. I guess we're almost done. This one. Where is my 210? Here we go. 210. Okay, so this is and ICT said in one of his videos, one of his last ones, you have to track the 1:30 to 2 a.m. move and then use that fair value gap. This is valid in London, so that's this one, and this is used for the start of the move down, right? So I guess this one is the most significant one. We do have a propulsion block here, so I guess this one was used, and then you can take it to on the way down as a continuation to the downside. How I read it right now, because when you have a move like this, we are not ready to go back up. When a macro, this in a macro though, right? So you would think, yeah, I think that fools a lot of people. Like it's a macro, we took a low, we're going up. No, you're not. It's not done yet. We've got liquidity to the downside, or it just needs some more rejection, right? It's working its way through this daily. When you see a wick like this, it's a large wick. It's just a lot of inefficiencies and a lot of things they need to balance out. That's why it takes time. That's why you always have a lot of back and forth when you have large wicks like this. It's just moving its way down. It's not smooth riding, right? Once they're done, then this becomes smooth, and then you have that last run. Like I think yesterday, there was a good move at some point. So full transparency, guys, I lost my funded account yesterday. I'm gonna tell you guys because I was very stupid yesterday. I saw the market and now it was not tradable, but I did engage, and it was the one that I got Friday. But I made another one because with the rapid from funded next you can make one again, right? So I got one back, but it's not. I'm just gonna throw it out there because I'm very upset with myself that I did that. So I lost that one. I have another one now that I made back Friday because in the afternoon there were some good trades, but I should not have engaged. I should not have lost that one. So lost it. So it happens. Stupid, really stupid. Who else lost something yesterday? Who else traded yesterday and lost their account or blew up something? Just, you don't have to tell me. I mean, it's okay. But I guess it's just. No, I got straight, but I bought a new one, and the wrapper you can pass in one day, and I passed it already because we had a lot of large drop. But I should not have, lost it because I could make the money on that account instead of getting a new one, right? So, yeah, it's just stupid. It's just stupid, Mm, mm, but it's okay. I'm just full transparent. Just I think I have to hold myself accountable, and that's why I'm walking the walk of shame here. You have to be transparent when you're. I think that's good. But also the good things and the bad things. But anyway, let's look into it because we want to have a good trade, right? Shall I look into? You are green. Good. What did you trade after 11 o'clock, Marco? Did you wait it? I think if you waited, there was so much opportunity, right? I mean, it was very easy for me to pass the account again because there was a lot of, especially after the 10:15 macro, it was pretty clear. But yeah, on days like that, yeah, I think it's well, I think it's more strategy a little bit, but sometimes it just gets to you. If you have a bad, if something, I think it's a little bit more strategy. I think because it doesn't happen to me that often anymore. But I think if when you're either you're a little bit distracted or there are some other things, and then you fall into that trap, I guess, because it's a trap, right? It's how they trade the market moves, and then once you get into it, you have to close that loop. And then if you don't walk away or you don't, I don't even listen to my own advice because I made a very good video about it. It's very easy to tell other people, oh, you need to do this and that, and then you don't do it yourself. Because it's biology. It's really it's not discipline. It's biology. It's how the market books, right? They are designed to around that. So I guess when you have a weak moment, you fall for it. So I guess. So yeah, it is. It's always meant. I mean, you always have to. I think we always will battle with that a little bit, and you get better at it though. But it still happens. And then you just deal with it, and you tell yourself it will never happen again until the next. But that's why it's always good to talk about it, right? Like, and that's why if you have a community, when you trade together, for me being on stream, it never happens on stream because I'm more disciplined. And I think that's important having a community and being able to speak open about it. Like also, I feel like I'm over trading. Throw it in there. No one judges here. We're just here to help each other. Like, hey, I think I want to trade, but it feels it's not right, and I don't feel I have the strategy, but I'm just getting in. And then we help each other. And I really think that's important. So it's important because we're just, we're humans, and we have. We are in a market that is designed for us to do these things. You must remember it's it's not designed for us to make money. Oh, I'm in South Africa, so we are basically the same time zone, Marco. I had 4 bad trades in London and 2 good trades in New York, and ended with plus. Good. Hey, Seek for Wisdom, how are you doing? I know, Cambodia. Cambodia's in the house, babe. How's it going? We're just talking about losing your account. I lost my account yesterday, so just throwing it in there. So, but anyway, I'm gonna be more. I'm just gonna be. I'll be always be transparent if I do something stupid, because I need to be. I think that's the way to go forward. But hey, price is going up. And I see it's going to that suspension block, right? So we. Hey, Kieran, I still have to look at gold. Blowing my EVA being a DJ and gambler. Yeah. Hey, we need to work on that. It's a waste of money to blow all the accounts, but hey, it's biology. We're just talking about it. Okay, so let's see. Suspension block have a value as well, apparently, but we did cross the breaker here, but on the 15-minute, I'll get into gold, Kiran. Let me just quickly have a look on. Okay, change in state delivery. Do have a breaker here. We'll keep an eye on it. I didn't expect it to really go up, to be honest, but we do have liquidity here. But let's see how it reacts at this suspension block. I'll quickly have a look at gold. Oh, Karen, gold was so ugly yesterday that I couldn't look at it long. Hey, look, gold did exactly the same as NQ. It took out Asia low and even a monthly open. So, and a previous week low. But it still looks very bearish to me at the moment. Let me quickly have a look at the daily. Yeah, I just couldn't look at gold yesterday. It was so ugly that I actually haven't done much analysis on it. Normally I'm always like prepared, and you know what's going on, but now I'm just like we took this here. Asia highs here. Look at Asia high created equal highs here. Okay. Now why am I showing this? Just disregard the we've been going down. Look here, all this accumulation here. I think this is that 4 hour. I think we're going to get a consolidation in this IFUG. Let's see if it goes below it or just it goes back into it. I think it was that bloody 4 hour that we had for a long time, and it just kept on going in there. Was it here? Yeah, I'm gonna mark it. I'm gonna mark the. No, I don't. We don't have a 4 hour here. Oh, we do actually here, but it's too far away. I'm gonna use the 1 hour. Yeah, let's see if it goes below that. I'm just what I'm thinking. It might go into consolidation in this area, so we might take another low and then go back into this range. Because look, we don't have any inefficiencies besides wicks. Where is it going to go? Into the upside, right? There's no fair value gap. There's only wicks, wicks, wicks. So we got a lot of consolidation here. So you always have to look at the left, and then it mimics it, right? A lot of the time. So it is going below it, but keep an eye on it. We do have equal lows here. I'm gonna mark those. Do you see those on the? All those yellow lines are the 150 move that I've been tracking. I want to have a good model around the 150 move, but okay, let me just, so equal here, 3991 on the 1 hour. I want to check the 4 hour. Okay, you see on the 4 hour, equal lows. So that's a draw on liquidity, definitely, but you want to mark these. You want to see the levels. It's not liquidity yet, it's a rejection block first. So you want to see where if it's going to reject in this area here. So I would mark this wick, and then it's just 10 points, is it? It's not much, is it? But because it's just 10 points, be careful, because it could still reject. See, it's going back into that range. I don't trust it. I think we're going to look here what happened here on the 4 hour. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4-hour candles. I would be, yeah, gold is not my favorite at the moment, to be honest, but I think we're going back into consolidation. Look at this. If it goes up, it has rejection here, but let's see. It did take liquidity, so it will move up, but how far? Well, we can have a look at gold. If we have a change in state that we do have equals here, we do have a gap here. So we had a low at 2. I don't know. I think it's still going to go down one more leg too on NQ. I don't think we're done. We did hit 0.5. We did hit it, right? Yeah. Change in state of delivery. Let me see on the 5 minute. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Change in state of delivery here on the 5 minute. We do have a breaker. This candle is the retest, and then it goes. Going for this liquidity here. If you're in a long, now this is an old previous day low. It's sort of like annoying. I'll show you guys. Oh, it's sort of like there are two levels there, and then it just overlaps each other, so you can't read it properly. But it's a midnight and a previous day low. I know it because let me switch off. So this is midnight and an old previous day low. Okay, now let's see. I think we're going to the end walk. I think we have another leg down coming. I just don't trust it too much. I don't trust anything anymore. Okay, GC. What does GC? So GC, we have an event horizon here, right? That's the midpoint between two end walks. Once it goes down below, oh, we've got some liquidity here. This looks juicy. 3950. Yeah, I don't think gold is going up. Since there's no inefficiencies here on the 5. Unlike this level here, 3973 as well on the 4 hour equals with the event horizon nearby, but you've got that wick here, right? You've got that 15-minute wick here. Let me show you. I'm actually maybe thinking of actually anticipating in gold. So it looks more obvious to me than it's just dropping. I'm too late, I think. Yeah, it's dropping already. 1 hour. It's beautiful. Look at this here, 3991. But watch this wick now. What's this doing here, right? You see how it reacts at this level here. Let's see. I think I like gold for a short. I mean, it's more clearer to me. Unless it goes back into the range and goes into consolidation, then I take back my words. It hit exactly my 1/3 level of that wick. was a 15-minute wick at 2:39. Where's my wick? What did I grade? Was it a daily? Come on. I think it was a 4-hour one, right? I think it was 4 hour. 4 hour it was. Yes, it was a 4-hour wick. No, it was not. I don't know what I graded here. Can't remember. I think it was a 1 hour. That was it. I remember now. It was a 1 hour. I'm sorry about that. I need to switch that off. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna go to the higher time frame, and that should be off. Hours. There we go. Now, what did I grade? I can't remember. I used a wick and I don't see it anymore. 4 hour. Oh, here we go. 4-hour wick. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you see how it reacted at this 4-hour wick, right? How beautifully. So this is typically now the rejection that you want to see this. It's not a bad thing. It's something you want, because then you know, okay, we had one reaction. You might have another one, but then at some point you will start realizing, or you start seeing, okay, now this is liquidity, and then it will make that run to the downside. But the question is, how far up are we going to go? Because we did take a lot of liquidity. Another easy market again. Okay. So it mimics. So it took out the equal highs here. I just don't want to see it go into consolidation here. That's the only thing that worries me a little bit with gold at the moment. Because we just took out a low. We just go back into that range, and we create another, it's creating, you can see what's happening already, right? They just create another high here. Now when you see this happen, when it creates a high like this, right, it's almost either below or almost equal, and it doesn't take it out in the same candle, it might take a while again. So you see, you got all these here. It's relatively equal, and it's then we might go into consolidation. Let's see if it takes it out in this run. Let's see what it's doing. We have a, was it a 5-minute change in state delivery as well? Yes, 5-minute change in state delivery. I would like to see a breaker retest. Breaker. This was also similar to yesterday. Then we had those first percent fair value gaps. So this is the one at midnight, and they were barriers yesterday. I don't know if you guys can remember. It just kept on going into it, and not leaving it, and not going over it. And again, we see it now here, right? Again into it. It's a 3-minute. So obviously they change when I change the time, right? But it's always good to go between, just see, okay, what's the 5-minute, what's the 1-minute? Um, yeah, I don't like this, but macro is still starting, so we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know. It's hard to enter. Okay, what are you doing, NQ? What are you doing? So NQ hit a previous day low. So this line is a previous day low and it's midnight. So let's see how it reacts here. Is it going to create trend line liquidity for later? Remember, we got news tomorrow, right? So sometimes what they do, trend line, which means we might get another leg down. Here we go. It's beautiful trend line. So I wonder if we're going to take it out now. Let me check Forex Factory if anything changed. Tomorrow is, so today is the 18th, right? Let me check. Yes, 18th. Okay, so we have FOMC minutes tomorrow, so that's not the same as FOMC. So, but the rules still apply for how do we behave before news event. The day before can always be not so advantageous, but also it's 2 a.m. 2 p.m. tomorrow, right? Well, we'll see. We'll just see what price action is doing. I'm getting interested in a short on NQ. I don't think we're going to go higher at this moment. You see how it's like building up, right? All these. Let's see. If you would have taken this breaker trade, let me just. Would that breaker trade be a 2R? Let's see. You enter here. You put your stop here. It's almost a 3R trade. So this could have been a quick 2R scalp, right? Breaker, breaker. I did point out the breaker, but I didn't react to it because I love breakers. But this breaker here. But look at this one here. Who thinks NQ will go higher? Who thinks NQ will go lower? One more leg down. I'm just curious. Hello, darling. What are you doing? What is it? What is your cocoon? What is on my leg? Is it something? Okay, let's quickly have a look at gold. Oh, look at gold. Well, I guess it's done with consolidation, right? After yesterday. Let's see. Just 1 second, guys. Need to check. Okay, guys, I quickly have to go down because I saw my cats. They come running down. And they're like, oh, there's some. I know when someone's on the property. I just know because of my cats. And I check down. They're doing the. We had like a leakage. So I quickly need to go to the gardeners just to tell them what they need to do. I'll be back in. In fact, they're just like guard dogs. My cats. I just knew exactly what was going on. I'm like, oh my god, I've got a burglar, but they're just people that work here. But anyway, give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I just need to give them some instructions. Oh, Gigi, have you stolen my chair? Oh my God, look at it. I am sitting here, my love. Can I sit here? Okay, my love, here you go. I'm back, guys. Well, when I stand up, they steal my chair. Okay, that is sorted. Okay, here we go. Haha. Ooh, I'm out of breath because I have to walk the stairs. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Yeah, see, there's a straight line there. Just this, I think we can go. Oh, it's 2:55. I'm gonna put a paper trade on, guys, because I need to warm up a little bit. My stop loss. Where would I put my stop loss? I'm a little bit late to the party, I guess, but I do think we have a lot of room to the downside. I think we're gonna get another leg down. Let's see. Or are we now? Ooh, oh, maybe I'm too fast. Maybe we are doing a breaker retest, right? Let's see. Gigi, come on. Like, did we go over here? Did we took that? No, we did not. See, we did not. This is not a change in state delivery on. Yeah, I would be careful with the long right now for some reason. I don't know. Even though we have a breaker, we are retesting the breaker. Yes. Still be careful. 3 minute. 5 minutes. I'm not convinced of this bullish structure yet. We started here. I'm just gonna. This is. Um, what did we do? Let me see. We went down to 53, 249, 250, 251. See, I don't like this. We have two bullish candles at the beginning for a bullish move. We have displacement to the downside, 255, 256. Yeah, I'm not convinced. Who is bullish? So we're below here. We're retesting this one. Yeah. Now what we buy? I'm gonna get rid of these. Let's see. Mm-hmm. See how far down we can go because we're done with this one here. What else do we have? What can we use? What can we use? We've taken this. Yeah, we need to go a little bit down. We need a little bit more. Okay. Hey, shoulder gold. I use this one here. Let me show you. I still kill zones and pivots. Let me show you if this is the correct one. Hold on. Yes. So you can choose to kill zone boxes or just the text. And Asia LON, and you can make your own times. And they also have daily, high, low, day of the weeks, and you can make your own times here, which you find important. You can use them right over here from TFO. Yeah. Okay, boom. Okay, it took out the trend. Okay, it's bullish then, I guess. I just cannot. For some reason, I just don't trust it. You can tell from that I'm just not comfortable. Even though my structure was here like a breaker, and then it goes up, but there's just something I just don't trust it yet. I don't know why. Just time. It's sort of like the time. The 2 a.m. takes out the low. Just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't have to be the same, right? It can be. Just wonder if we have a Tuesday low. Normally we get that between 3 and 4ish. If we make one in London, right? Oh, it's 3 o'clock now. Well, let's see. I just there's just something off. I'm looking at the four. I'm also looking at the daily. It just doesn't look like we're going to go up now. And looking at the 4 hour. Let me see. What are we doing with this? Oh. Go back. I need you on the 4 hour. You see they're creating equal lows here. That's interesting. I didn't see that before. So the 10, and so I guess we're going. We see this one here. The 2 a.m. has created equal lows. It's fairly equal. Right? You take it out, but you can consider this on the higher time frame equal. Last it was it 2 days ago? Was it Friday? We had a similar situation. It created an equal low in London, and it created the equal low at 3:30, and it took it out at 6. And that was that move to the downside, and then we had that run to the upside. That was Friday. So I would mark this area because this is not. I mean, this is equal. You cannot consider this. It did take out liquidity, yes, but it's not like a good sweep, right? Who's in a long? Is someone in that long? Because it's now going for this. Now it's going for this liquidity here. Are we going to go all the way back up? God, I'm just too distracted with everything going on to trade now. I can hear all this noise, people working here now. But we'll get a trade. We'll still have another macro. 330 is coming. You know, also thinking about it, when you see liquid, like this is so engineered, they never leave this behind. So it's sort of like, even though it's a minor sweep, you can still trade it. It's sort of such a, it's not that many points, is it? Well, it's 250 points. It's a good move. Okay. Quickly look at gold, TC. Gold is going for this level here, 24. Put a gap here on the 15. Breaker. They told me they had phoned me, but I didn't see anything. Just missing all these. There's nothing. Ooh, look at the gold going. Someone in the long on gold. Okay, this is always very bullish, right? When you see the first percent of fair value gap and you get a wick and boom, it goes off. It's bullish, 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 bullish. I guess we're not gonna get a leg down now between 230 and 4, I guess. Let's see. Let's see, let's see. Did we hit anything? Weekly low. Was there SMT by the way? Yeah, I just read the high from the midnight range. I think if we hold this area, then it's going down. Yeah, Philip, I just don't feel comfortable taking a long at the moment. I just, I just feel that we're just not done yet for some reason. But hey, it could be, right? That it's just, like I said, you know. But it just annoys me when I don't feel like I understand what's going on. Yeah, I've noticed that gold and Q are moving similarly today. So they take out a weekly and just liquidity and they make the same move. But this could be the 4 hour, the wick that we're creating, right? But look at the 4 hour. I just want to point out that we are above the 50% of the body. That's so. Where are we? Where are we? I want to see the body go below the 50% again. If not, then we might go. Well, where are the inefficiencies on the daily? Right? Let's see. It really needs to start going down. Otherwise, I really need to change my bias. And what if I use the whole wick? Then we are far above the body. I think we're going down. Let's see if we go below the first presented fair value gap. We took that out at 6. It was 3 hours later. So last time it did take out those lows, but it wasn't the next 4-hour candle, not this one. So that's the only concern that I have. But on the other hand, we already took a little bit of the lows. I'm just wondering if we're going to go past this. I do think we are going to do that, but I could be totally wrong. Let's see. We're going to go below this first presented, yes. Here we go. Okay. Let's go. See what happens here. Still respecting the first presented and respecting the BC. Doesn't look bearish yet. So trades like this, right? Take a fast if it takes liquidity and you go to the opposing liquidity. I mean that's like something. Once I'm into the trading, I can do that in New York AM session because you're in the modes. But when I start in London, sort of like still drinking the coffee. But those trades are actually, even though you are still bullish or bearish, you can still take those trades after a purge, right? But then you just have to go for your 2R trades. Don't go for, because you don't know if there's more to come. But this doesn't look bearish at all. Look, this is all engineered liquidity. And also what worries me a little, because there was such a large move in Asia, I'm like, okay, it's still moving a lot. It's going consolidation anytime, but it might not, right? It might go all the way back to Asia high. We took Asia low. What's the opposing? Asia high. So it's all the way up to here, 956. But that's quite a bit of a move. So I'm sort of like, is that possible in London? So I'm sort of like, okay, either we're going to have another move down or we're going into consolidation. So that's why I'm just not, I guess, not ready for a move to the upside for some reason. But hey, definitely missed a good move, both on gold and on NQ. But that's okay. I mean, as long as I'm not losing my accounts. Yeah. Patricia. You want to sit on my chair? Or is it your chair or my chair? Hmm? No, I'm not moving. No, no. Go sit for my love. There you go. Yeah, look at the 4 hour now. We are far above the midpoint, so it's becoming more and more bullish. I think we have to let go and maybe think that these lows will be taken out at a later, probably not on this 4 hour candle. So maybe even though, well, let's see. Let's see. I just cannot see this go up all the way. Just so So what's important for me now is to watch. Oh, look, we got a flat bottom here, flat top. Is how it will react at the event horizon, right? If it goes over the event horizon again, then it's going to go back up here. But if it stays below the event horizon, we might get a move to the downside. Just wondering. So I moved to the 1 hour candle. I just need a little bit more information. Might even go to the 15. Oh, we got see where it's getting weak. 15. Okay, we took liquidity here. Is this enough? Right? We took liquidity, went into this little wick here. Let me calculate the whole range. I want to see that. Are we at 38%? Yeah, good enough. Okay, it's enough for it to go down. Okay, might be ready for the move down. Are we going down now? 16. Okay, let's see. If it kind of closes here, I might just enter and yeah, I'm gonna enter on a only a paper trade still, guys, because I'm too distracted with everything. I've got so much noise around me. I'm gonna take it to. I like a trade like this because it gives me a small my stops is relatively small to the move because oh see it's already because it's just I'm just using this fair value gap, but see how nasty it is. It goes below it and then goes back up to it. I really wanted to see break down away from it, but even though it has a close, and I saw that yesterday as well. You cannot. You really need two candles almost, not one candle. You see, this one just paper trading. It looks very bullish to me now. This is just we have a retest of the midnight. That's actually a retest. This is actually a proper retest, 316. But hey, I'm not. It looks like we are going to go up into the concept. We're going to go up here now. Yeah, it's. I would rather say it's a market maker buy more sell side. Buy side, and where do we go into? And we go into in the original consolidation. Where's the consolidation? Here. We can consider this the area of consolidation. So we might go up to here, 836. We'll adjust. We'll adjust. The first presented fair value gap, it's anchored at whatever time frame I am looking at. So if it's a 1 minute, it takes from the 1 minute. But I make up my own time. So this is the first presented fair value gap from 1 minute past 3 until 3:30. And then if I go on the 1 minute, it shows me this. But if I go to the 5 minute, it shows, oh, hold on. It shows the 5 minute. There is no 5 minute one because I have said it's only applicable from the first after 1 minute past 3. But it will be this one obviously, and 3 minutes will be here. So they're a little bit different, right? Because you don't want the first one, you want this one. So the first percent fair value gap, the London one is from 3 to 3:30, but just like the AM session, you don't take the first minute, you put 1 minute after, right? And same with the PM session is 1:30 to 2. Now this is a difficult area. You know why, guys? Because you have the first present, you have a fair value gap, and you have the midnight. Now, which one has more value as a retest? Is it retesting the midnight here? Because I like to see a wick through it. I consider that a retest, but I also like to retest, like for example, where was that trade when I said, oh, I think it was on gold, like this. When you see this, you have a candle creation, and creates the fair value gap, and the first next candle, boom, into it, and it blasts off. That's sort of a retest. Already it's creation retest, and then you get like a move. You can still have but then you use time, right? Because I guess we're in the macro here. Yes, here, look. So here you trade the time of the macro. So it happens at 3+3. You see this, and then you can just 3, 7. Yeah, at 8 I would get out in this case, but 9, 10, 11. What time does the macro start running? 3 o'clock. 2:47. 2:45. 2:46. Yeah, this is 3:15. Yeah, if you see the macro starting at 2:46 instead of 2:50, right? Because here you get consolidation, but you get a displacement at 2:46. Sometimes you can make it like quarter to quarter after, and that's in this situation. So when you get a run like this at 3+3, you see here it's 6 past. When it goes down, right, you freak out like, oh my god, but then it still has another run a little bit later. But that's because it is sort of like you have consolidation in the macro. Like say the similar, like when what I said about the 150 to 210 macro, when you had to move down, you had part of it was consolidation. So you really have to study those macros. It's quite interesting, especially with this. And sometimes I'm just in, and I will say I'm just trading time now because I'm just taking it as much. I want to squeeze as much out of it, and then I just use time during the macros. So gosh, I want to frame a trade, but it's tricky. And I tried, I did 2 paper trades and I was wrong. I think even 3, by the way. We'll see. I'm still not, I don't know, I've been going back and forth. Bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish. I'm still more bearish than bullish, I think, to be honest. Let me see. I'm gonna take my notes, my old notes, if I can see anything. If I miss something, my logic. 2 a.m. 2 and 5. Previous day low, previous day high. Asia. Expansion. Oh, where's midnight? Midnight is here, right? Midnight is here. A higher order flow is bullish. Yeah, we're bullish, but we want to have another leg done. But why? What am I missing here? What am I missing? Interesting. Beautiful law. 2, 3, 2, 4. Okay, it's 3:24. That first. So a shoulder gold. Is it clear about the first presenter? You can make. You can choose whatever hour you want, but I only use the London. I use the New York AM, PM session, the when the market opens at 6 o'clock, there's it's all the same. It's just that 1.5 hour, but then it's from 1 minute past that time to half an hour. And yeah, they function like a roadmap. And this is the one after midnight. So I feel like a roadmap for me. I do use them a lot. Now let's see if we can break away from this first presented. Again, trend line liquidity here, a lot of creation. So, I mean, you know, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes I don't even really mind if I see a lot of that kind of liquidity, because it's sort of like, it gives you an easy trade at some point, right? So, okay, let's go down. See now, you're gonna go. And we finalized the market maker plan. We are above here. Let's see on the higher time frame. We're not into original consolidation. We are above. Accumulation, manipulation. Are we bound to go down again? I just cannot shake off the idea that we have one more leg to go down to the downside. Cannot shake it off. 2.5. Look at that. So according to this manipulation move, we hit exactly 2.5. But why that would mean anything to me is not. I might understand it as a first in a macro though. No, it's just the first presented fair value gap. Let me show you the indicator. Maybe that will make it more clear. First FUG from Joshua. So this is how I populated it. I've got 2 of them because I've got more than 3, right? So I needed 2. I needed 2 of the indicators to populate them. I'll show both. So so my first one is after 6 o'clock till 6:30, right? And I extend them all the way up to the next one almost. This one I can do a little bit long. The other one is the one in the afternoon, 1:31 till 2, and this one is the London time, 1 past 3 till 3:30. Now, the indicator allows me to, it plots, if I'm in the 1 minute, it only looks for that 1 minute between the first one that shows up after, in this example, after 3:31. So on the 1 minute, it shows this one here. It shows this one here. Now if I go to the 3 minute, it will look for the first one after 3 minute, on the 3 minute candle, which one is the first one after 3:31. Obviously it's a little bit different because you have different candle formation, right? This is the one at 3 o'clock and this is the one at 3 past 3. So it will disregard this one and go to this one. If I go to the 5 minute, there is no one there because it's just one candle at 3 o'clock, right? And I said I want the candle after 1 past 3. So that's how it works. It has nothing to do with a macro. I populate them myself, right? But obviously, we sort of like, you know, the logic is, you want to see them interact in a macro. That's the best scenario. Now, there's one caveat you have to think about. If there's a gap here, it does you have to override them yourself because normally we have to add the gap. It doesn't do that, so you have to do that yourself. So it's just like the AM. Just like the AM. It's a range in every session that's valid. They are the most important fair value gaps, just like the AM session, like the 9:30 to 10. We have different sessions which are important. Yeah. ICT just goes over the 9:30 to, but he shared in somewhere hidden that there are more gaps to be used. Yes, more. So, But hey, it's also on my part. I did my own. I just back tested and forward tested it. Um, so just there's logic to it. In his latest video, he mentioned something about the 130 to 230 range, but that one is only applicable to London session. So I don't use that one. I do mark it in the London session. It's this one here. So what you see here, that would have been our indication for the trade, right? I guess we missed that here. I was too, like this one here, the 130 to 2. Where's the biggest gap here? And is it the opposing gap? This is the retest at 255. That's your trade. It doesn't have to be the 1 minute. It can be any minute, but I think 1 minute is for trades like this. On this, if you have the shorter trades, you want to be on the 1 minute, yes. But I look at 3 minute, I look at 5 minute, because they're different, right? But you have to play around. It's just, it's not like all these things. You really have to find what works for you and like stick to it. For example, some people only do the 3 minute and they only use, they look at the 3 minute. But if you understand the logic behind it, then you find how you can make it work for you. For me, I notice that the 1 minute is very significant, but sometimes I see that the 3 minute or the 5 minute has already been hit. But then I'm like, okay, what about the 1 minute? Just missing all the trades now. It's okay. I guess we're going up to 4 here. 3:32. Okay, so time 3:32 to 3:33. We got our breaker retest already. We're running now. I guess we are running all the way back up. Standard deviation is right in this fair value gap, so yeah. So, but let me know if the logic is clear. Shoulder gold. That's the most important thing. Do you understand the logic? It's just that those ranges have just similar to 932, the morning session range. You want to have the first percent fair value gap that has. They are more significant than the others, and you will see them that they will be reused a lot of the times. Okay, we're above the first the end event horizon. Mm, mm, mm. I'm a little bit annoyed that this should have been a trade. It's just a retest in a macro, and then this is such a beautiful trade. Yeah, so it's the and which sessions do we trade? We trade London. We have the daily open, like at 6 o'clock, right? Then you have Asia. Well, I don't really have an Asia one. Well, I guess that's the one at 6. And then 2 in New York session. But the one that's very important will be the London session. You'll use that a lot. There was a beautiful trade yesterday. I saw when we went down, it went down into the London one of the previous day. But this is I was just distracted also by the people coming in. But guys, do you see that this the retest of this inversion? Like, okay, it's okay to miss this move, right? But then you wait for the retest. This is in a macro. Let me go to the 1 minute. I have to journal this because I missed it, but it's okay. It's a beautiful trade. And then even though you have a bias, if you see this, you cannot go, there's no way you can actually, there's so much confirmation. Okay. So you go through it, then you have a retest and you go into this one, this inversion, right? Because it's inverted here. And then you have a retest in a macro, and that's very important. And then you just, these you should be able to take blind almost. I mean, I should be able to take them blind. The only confusion might have been, well, there is a clear breaker here. I mean, there's no confusion. There's no excuse, to be honest. But I have an excuse. You mean for this trade? Yeah, let me go over this. Where in this? Okay, let me go over how I would frame this trade. Breaker, right over here. So there are two things that are overlapping here, right? Breaker. Okay, let's disregard breaker and the inversion here. Let me change this inversion to another color. Both have the same color. I don't want it needs to go. Okay, so breaker trade is one. Okay, on the 1 minute, the breaker is activated. Why? Because you have a close above it right here. Then you have a retest of it. Is it in a macro? No. So we let it go, right? Okay. For example, in this case, it's not on a breaker. It's not in a macro 228. But then you let it go. Then it runs, and then it goes back. It even goes back into the breaker, and it goes back into this inversion, and that is in a macro. That is a safe trade. This you sort of like, okay, it's not in a macro. It could fail. You know what? I'm gonna let this one go. So you miss this move. No FOMO. You just let it go back, and then you see again the breaker retest and also a inversion retest. It's in a macro 255. That is no excuse to me, but that was 255. So that's a save. Then you use time, and then you use, okay, it's been running, and look, and it does stop a little bit at 3 past 6. So that could sort of like, you can get out of it when you see it go down, but then you still have a good trade, right? Stop loss. Now let's see. This is the inversion. In this case, because I don't like how this is sort of like also in consolidation as well, because you had a consolidation, right? This is at 150 to 210, right? This is it's a little bit of a strange area, to be honest. It's also got me a little bit off. So I would go to the 3 or 5 minute in this case to just see how does the inversion look. The inversion here looks larger. Okay. Now if you use the breaker, we're just going to stick to the 251. We're just going to stick to the macro trade, okay? Now technically it's a large one. It's a little bit difficult, to be honest. Let me see. We're just going to do the breaker. If you just stick to the simplest one. Where are you? Long position. Okay, you get in here. Now, technically, when you trade the breaker, you want it to have it below the breaker, right? Because you don't want to be stopped out. and then it should be a 2R trade. Is that manageable? Yes, because it stops exactly above here. You just go for 2Rs if you have a proper breaker trade, but you don't want. I do look for do I have a liquidity? I would be a little bit, well, yeah, I would take it up to here, to this point, then, and then still 2R trade. So this one is possible as a 2R trade, the breaker trade, right? Now if you use the inversion, it's the same area, right? You get in. No, go back. No, you're not going to get my chair. I'm just a slave, guys. I really have to fight for my chairs and my bed, as you can see. I'm not going to get my chair. So if you would use the inversion, then you just go, I would take, well, you know what? You have to be careful when you see three candles like this. You can basically consider all three the inversion. So it will be almost the same, right? You just do it a little bit here, just into the wick. So you just, because you see three candles, if I go to the 2 minute or 3 minute, it will be one area, right? You understand that, right? You see here, this would be the full inversion here. It's a little bit lower, but you see, I would take it. You have to be careful with wicks. So I would just use, in that case, I would use the breaker as well. In this case scenario, just in the beginning, you wanted to be safe. So what's going on? But hey, it's going to the opposing side. My omelette fell off my plate after the last inversion. What's your opinion on the fallacy of false derivatives dictating the 7-day price dropout, Professor? I have no idea what you're asking, to be honest, if I may be honest about that. But okay, we are at the 4 standard deviation. I wonder if we are going lower from here, that we're going to create the high of the London session now. Are we creating the high? My omelette fell after the okay. I wonder if we are going to create the high at around 4ish, and then maybe head down. That could be it. Will we take the Asia high? Will we take the Asia high? Will we take the Asia high? I don't think so, but hey, I'm wrong all morning already. Should we take a low here? So run around to Asia high. Changing with no reversal play. Changing the state of delivery. Yeah, it was sooner, the change in state. Okay, we hit a end walk, and we hit this. We hit the bearish breaker. You see that on the 15-minute? High, low, higher high. And this been taken out. So now are we just retesting the breaker, right? So is this now, are we going further back down? It's 344. We hit 4 standard deviation. We hit an end wall. Are we now going to the downside, right? Am I finally getting my short? Let's see. We got this. So let me look at the 4-hour candle. How are we forming? What have we been doing? Okay. So the 4-hour candle is now green, is now bullish. But it could turn bearish anytime again, right? Is it gonna dump? It hit the 7. Hey, have you seen ICT latest video? Of the leg as well. Let me, that's a good one. I did calculate it, but we were still a little bit lower when I thought we were going. Hey, they work like a charm, right? Those levels. Exactly. So ICT said if you have a trade, let's do low-hanging fruit. So it could go higher, but if you have a leg and you have a perch and revert, as he called it, right? Then you could safely take it up to 702. So I guess that was also, if you take into account, if you measure it and you have your breaker trade or your inversion, instead of just taking it to R, you can take it to 702. But guys, this is very unusual, in all honesty, that you have Asia move like this. Then we have a little bit of consolidation, and then London also making a move of this, like this. It's quite unusual to see a move this large in Asia. It's over 300 points, and then London going to the OTE level. It's just it's really unusual to see so much movement, but hey, I don't know. So and gold doing the same. It's just wow. I don't know. Let's check if gold is the same OTE, or gold has the same OTE level, right? Let's have a check. It does annoy me when I don't have so it's a little bit higher. So gold went to almost 79. It does annoy me when I miss trades when things have been so. ICT said the high might be the higher for the year. Okay. Oh, okay. I do get a little bit annoyed because that trade in an NQ, but then again, I was also in doubt because okay, you might go into consolidation. Look, Asia, so I'm sort of like after yesterday, losing my account, I'm sort of like very more precautious, I guess. And then, but then again, it was there, it was in your face. Okay, I got called away, but still, it is very unusual that we have such a large move and then London still moving that much, right? But hey, it's better not to put any trades on and losing. Then it's better to just let one go and run, and then you journal it and you see it and you learn from it, right? You go for, you measure it, like these things. Like, thank you, Shoulder Gold, for pointing out the 702, because that is important information, right? Because you can add that in your when you have a move and you see it's already running and you want to see, okay, can I how much is my R to R? And if the 702 is a little bit higher than your 2R, you just add that, right? So but it would be crazy if NQ would go, normally that's what it does, right? You take out the Asia low and then you go to the opposing side, takes out Asia high. Because it's been creating liquidity for days now. And look, we've got equals here, so it makes sense. But now I am a little bit like, I'm a little bit worried, like if I enter now, it's going to go in consolidation. Because it's like, we're still, but we'll see. We'll wait, we'll do another macro. I want to see the 350 to 410 macro. What time is it here? Yeah, it's very unusual, but it's okay. And also, the time is just really weird that it made the low and the 2 a.m. Run. It's very unusual. It always does it. Not always, mostly. If you get a low, or if it's Tuesday's low, if it's a London one, it's most of the times after 2 a.m., maybe even after 3 a.m., to be honest. Most of my journaling is always like, between 3 and 4. Sometimes even a little bit later, but not at 2. I haven't had a journal, and I've journaled a lot, I can tell you that. But I don't know. But it has to be a first time for everything, right? Okay. So ICT said the high might be the high for the year. So that means we're just going down now, basically, with everything. I hope not, to be honest. That would be, but yeah, it could be. He takes off right now because he knows that the time is just not, it's just not advantageous or he just doesn't like it to trade these times. But I guess when we just in the phase that we are in, it's good to study the markets and still. There's always good opportunity. They just become less a little bit. You just have to be more vigilant. But gosh, yesterday was crazy, um, and it got to me. Now let me see if I calculate this one in 3 minutes. Just want to see if my macro fit. Because we could go higher, right? Because gold went higher as well to 79 almost. Let's see. So you see, if I calculate it from the 3, the manipulation move here, 4 is here. And let me calculate it from the 5 minute. Let's see if there's any difference. No, that's similar. I just do the bodies only. So I like 4 because 3.5 is exactly at the daily open. It makes sense, but it's higher than 79%, so that means we're bullish then, right? So are we going to take out the Asia high, guys? And are we going to do it in the next macro? Oh, we got another macro. I've got to pay attention. Stop talking so much, you. You're talking too much, girl. Okay, this can go. Okay, let's see if we can frame a proper trade with analysis, not making using time. Okay, so the daily open and the settlement price are the same. That's very. So the daily open is at 6, right? And the settlement price is 4:15 closing. So that where price settles. They're exactly, well, they're almost the same right here. I like that. It's a very strong. It's 3.5. We're in a fair. Look at the 15-minute. We're in an inversion and we're in a fair value gap. Is that going to be the draw for us for today, or are we going to go down now? Low risk buy. First stage of accumulation. Are we gonna get our second stage of accumulation now? Because this is the first, right? This is a low risk buy. Okay. Turtle soup. That's this one here. Maybe low risk buy here. First stage of accumulation here. Are we entering the second stage of accumulation and then we get the fast move to the upside? And as ICT said, that's the best move, right? So let's see if we can catch that one. We wait for the best one. You have to get. I want to have a good trade. I might not even take it on my account, but just on my paper trade, just to warm up. And then I'm gonna attack in AM session in New York. Let's see. It's we're in the macro. Oh, we went into. Let's go. I'm gonna do a buy, a paper trade only. TP. I'm gonna go for the daily open here, and where am I gonna put my my stop now. Okay, let me show you. What would I do in this situation? I'm using this fair value gap here. I'm gonna put it below, a little bit lower. Why? And obviously I'll be stopped there. I'm so happy that I'm just paper trading now, to be honest. 355, 410. We had a retracement, so that's done. It goes into a fair value gap. What's the time? 3:51. Oh, I'm going to the 1 minute. I need to go to the 1 minute. It's better for me. I need to see my macro times. 3:51, 3:50. Bullish, bearish candle. I like that. 3:51. Good. Yes. Okay. And daily open and settlement price. That's where I put my, because that's I like that, because for me in my journaling, that's a lot of the times where if I have those levels on, it's a draw. And what I will do now as well, watch time. So I'm just saying, if it doesn't reach this before 4:10 past 4, I might quit the trade before that time. It's 4 standard deviations here, 3.5 is here, so it's still okay. And I'm like, okay, we had a retracement above 2.5, so that's okay still. But let's see if it even's gonna run. I mean, I've been wrong a couple of times already this morning. Let's see, 3:57, 4. Okay, we're gonna 4 o'clock is a lot of injection coming in, a lot of volatility. So let's see. This might already be the end of the model, right? Because we hit the end walk. Let's see. But I'm just looking at this because we had just Asia is just, we still have some. But hey, it could be done. I'm just paper trading. I wouldn't put any money on the line. Go back to the 3 minute. See, we tapped into here. So original consolidation we already tapped into. What daily open is that you have at your 9:10ish? You mean this line here? Yeah, that's the daily open, the 6 o'clock, when the market opens. So it's the same. I think you asked me about this indicator, right? Is this indicator the daily open here? Daily open. It's when the market opens. That's 6 o'clock Eastern time. The market opens. So all these times are liquidity points, right? Even though daily open, midnight. The daily open is at 6. Yeah, it's at 6 o'clock. Correct. Yes. And I also have a 1% fair value gap that I use when the market opens. Okay, let's see what happens at 4. I wouldn't be surprised if it slams down on me right now, because I still have that feeling that we just, because it's at 7:02, it's exactly at 7:02, right? So let's see. You know, when you have this feeling, you do not put your money on the line, you just paper trade. Hey, it's good to have the old ones on your chart as well. Just keep those as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it slams down on me, but we'll see. But we are above the So this is also very telling, right? The event horizon. So, but we already hit the end walk. So we'll see. So when we suppose later on we're going to in consolidation, we might go into consolidation between two end walks, and then you will use the event horizon a lot as well. See, I don't like it. It's like sort of like it's just not going. We'll see. I think this has been a long time that I felt so not confident in a trade. It doesn't happen that much. But when I feel it, when I don't have the confidence, I don't put on a trade anymore. The see it's slamming down because it just probably, we'll see. And it's okay to be off, right? If you don't have, if it just doesn't, it's not your market. It doesn't make you a bad trader at all. It's just that you're either not focused enough, or it's not your market. It's just different, and you just either too late or you're distracted all the time. It doesn't really bother me. It does bother me when I really want to, when it happens all day and all like and when I put money on the line, like yesterday. That bothers me. But you know, if I journal it and then I see, oh, I missed that, or I missed that, oh, that was the reason, that was the reason. That's actually really a nice moment, because then you're like, okay, you know what? I know why I missed it. I know how next time I will, So if you make it a learning moment, that's where you improve. But let's see, it's 4:02. It's already moving to the downside. Can it move up still? Mm-mm, don't think so. Or it's really unusual again, right? Either I'm going to be stocked out, because I treat my paper trades just as my normal trades. I journal them. So if I'm stocked out, I'm stocked out. Just need to journal them properly. um, we went into a bearish breaker right here. So the question is, are we going to be? So now we're dibbling in the middle, by the way. Actually, that's an area where you don't want to be in. We'll see. See how it's creating equal lows here as well. It's probably still going. It's weird. It's really weird price action. No money on the line, guys. Just my paper trade. I'm not trading this. But I do think we're going up. But we might. Finally, I put the trade on. We might go in consolidation. Um, let's quickly have a look at gold in the meantime. Okay, gold is. Well, gold is predictable because it's already almost at 79%. Now, what you could see is that you get a retest of the first presented maybe, but it just it looks sort of like it wants to go, right? Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. The fair value gap here and the first present. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to retest this, the first presented of the London session. See, this one is it? 1 minute. Let's see if it goes down. And then it might even move to the upside. But oh boy, and we're stuck in consolidation in a macro. You waited too long. Now, it was interesting that we took out a 50% of a wick, right? So that's also very telling. It was the 4-hour wick. So we use those wicks. You see here, it wasn't the 4-hour, but it was 50%. Was it the daily? I can't remember. Yeah, it was the daily wick. Okay, here we go. Why is this moving? Don't know why that moved here, this one. We tapped exactly 50%. So that was also a tell that to go long. 50% tapped into it. I took some really good trades of that using these levels or these wicks. And especially when it just hits that 50% exactly. It's sort of like also, algorithmic very strong. So we done it correctly? Yeah, just low 603 exactly tapped into it. So these wicks those premium discount wicks are awesome to use. It's almost you can take a turtle soup. But keep in mind on the 4-hour mark these lows because they're relatively equal. If we do go high, lower, and just make sure you use those wicks on the dailies on the daily. Hey Mither, how are you doing? How's it going? Yeah, because mind you, we have this whole fair this N walk, right? There has not been a lot of movement in this N walk. It's only been wicks and just minor, not even 25%. So I do believe we have business here to go into. So, oh, we're going to the upside. Let's see if we can find our. You see how nasty. How many backtrack and work? Well, I just look where we are. It depends on where we are. I try to have as least as possible on my chart, but if we are going down, I add how much we are we need because now we're going further down, and this one is quite. I think now I have more, but I try to have 5 or 6. But when we're going down, now I'm at 12, but I might have to add because we're going lower. And why? Because I use the event horizon. And the event horizon is the midpoint because I want the midpoint between every N walk because on like I call it Monday and Tuesday, ping pong Monday, ping pong Tuesday, which I think we might come in handy today if we're going to go into the range. We're just going to consolidate. You will see it consolidate between and ping pong between the N walk and the event horizon. So I use that a lot. So it depends on how far we go. Oh, you took it? Yeah, you had a great. I hesitated. I thought we might have another run to the downside. I had a bad day yesterday. I lost my funded account, but I made it back. I made another one back with the rapid yesterday. I didn't take that trade because I thought we might take a run lower. So I let it. I thought I let it run to the upside and then take it. And then I got distracted and I didn't take it. But hey, that was a good trade. It was very, there were a lot of signatures to take that long. So, and I'm stuck in consolidation now. It's not my day today, Metro. I'm not sharp. Normally I would take this trade here. I could just do this blind breaker retest, pair of inversion, macro. It just everything lined up in this move here, but not today. It happens. But then I'll be sharp when New York starts. I'm gonna have to journal this because this one is a little bit odd because this is the 150 to 210 macro. I've been tracking that for a long time, right? It's consolidation, and you could also think, oh, okay, we go back into consolidation and we're done. But no, it was very clear. I mean, it was very clear. All this engineered liquidity. I mean, you had awesome. Where's midnight here, right? Yeah, midnight is here. That's awesome. It's a very good trade. But let's see. We're in it. And it's running outside macro, so that's also yeah. Sometimes your analysis is very good and your execution is very bad. Sometimes your execution and analysis is bad. Today, and sometimes I have really a good my analysis is spot on, but my execution still sucks because you're talking a lot, and especially when I just started with the YouTube, I was like, oh my god, I really have to get used to talking, managing my trade, and things like that. It's two different things, execution and analysis, really. And I never thought about that, but it's very interesting because you can still see the trade, but your execution, you're just off. It's very weird. You're like, how can when you see it, you just you act upon it. But no, it's really it can be. It's two different things, and sometimes they're both shit. Like today. And do I care? Yeah, not really. Not now because we still have a whole day coming. Yes, exactly. Shoulder gold. The event horizon is the midpoint between two N walks, but it just says an important point of liquidity, just as the N walks themselves, like the high, lows, and the gradients, and just like the midnight range, because apparently it's being used by smart money. But they're also in between N dogs. If you use the N dogs, you can also use them as well. But yes, it's the event horizon. It's the CE. Yes. But it's actually the midpoint, we have to say, because CE is only for gaps and inefficiencies. And especially on range bound days on Monday and Tuesday, when there's no, sometimes on Monday, obviously this week it's very odd as far as what's been happening. But when you have a range bound days and it's just staying in the range, and especially when we have an inside day, you will use them a lot because then it's ping ponging between N walk to event horizon, and once it passes the event horizon, you can target the next N walk. So that's how I call it ping pong Monday. No, shoulder gold, you'll get it at some point, and that's what when you start using it, you'll find. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to use. I tried it. It's too much information. You know what? You can start, for example, just use one. You can only add the New York AM first percent fair value gap, and you just start with midnight and start like that. And then if you watch people and you see them, oh, okay, she uses the 4 o'clock. Let me see how that works for her, or you just start whatever works for you. If it's too much, you cut down whatever because I use it a lot. I know that, but for me it's easy to because I'm used to it now. But I totally get what you're saying, and you just use one or two things that works for you, and you just and also what you can do is just have different tabs because I do have more tabs open in trading view with more information. I don't even talk about that because I know you guys it drives you nuts because there's too much information there. So what you can do, you make one tab with first presented fair value gaps, for example, if you want to try, if you backtest it, but keep your charts clean, right? If it distracts you, you keep your charts clean. But you just didn't make another. Are you using TradingView? If you use TradingView, just make another tab, and then make another tab, and then just use the most basic things that are really, really important. But you test it for yourself, like, okay, I really need this, but you minimize it because if it distracts you, you want it off your charts. And that was the feedback I got also from the community. Hey, get your charts clean. So guys, if I've got to tell me, and what works for me doesn't have to work for you, right? So all my mentors, I took some little things from my mentors, and some I kept, and some I throw away, and then I mold myself into my own ICT time-based trader. So that's why I go over a lot of things, but I do not, I hope not that people, become a clone, but just, okay, she uses the Wix. I'm interested, but how does she use it? How am I going to use it? I just want to show it and then tell things to just, if it helps people, but some things are just not, we're all different. We see things different, and that's good. And some people don't even need that much information on their charts like I do. They see it without it, but I do need a little bit of information. So for me, the daily open and the well, I hope I can show you today, because a lot of the times, according to my journaling, that level is fairly trustworthy in a run, in the last bit of a run, as I have seen in my journaling. So if we see it happening again, let's see what time is it. We're out of macro anyway. So in a way, I like that, because I sort of like, okay, we're running outside macro. I don't have to think about, oh, the macro is done, I have to get out of my trade. But because it started running outside macro, it actually gives me confidence in the trade. Now, am I going to bring my stop loss to here? This is a tricky area, right? I would, because it could slam down on me anytime, because we're at the high now. But then, hey, if I'm stopped out, I'm stopped out. I don't care. It's a paper trade, but it's equally important because I learn. Paper trades help me execute better, and I have an issue with I am a distribution trader, so I have most of the times larger moves, and since I'm doing that, I trill my stop too fast. So that's something I need to work on. Is daily open for you? Yes. No, daily open is the one when the open starts from the future market. So that's 6, correct. And midnight, I call midnight. Yes. It's a good question. And shoulder gold, I don't want to give you too much information, but I do use the opening range gaps as well. Let me put them on. Let me see where we are. I don't want to give you any, but they are important. Why? Because the levels, ICT said those are the RTH gaps, right? The one between the close and the open. I knew we were in it, but let me just go back to only one. Why am I showing you this? Because they are significant, because the levels are, okay, I need 2 of them. I'm sorry. I need 2. I'll make them a little bit lighter because I need yesterday one, and this is not yesterday's one. The large one is Friday's one. But if I grade it, I'm just going to grade the large one, okay? And I just want to show you how important these levels are, because it will tell you a lot. It's a lot of information, but bear with me. Now, are we going to get a rejection here? Yes, most likely. Is my TP too high? Maybe. But I'm not going to change it, because if I'm stopped out, I'm stopped out. Then it's my mistake that I didn't grade this sooner. I thought this would have been my 1/3 level, but it's not. So I might have been wrong. Um, we'll see. So we took liquidity, but what time did we take liquidity, guys? Outside macro, right? At 419. That's weird, right? We took liquidity at 419. The RTH gap is very simple. It's just you can have it automated. It's the opening range gaps by TFO, and it's very simple. Shoulder gold. It's just a gap between. It's the RTH gap. So when the market closes at 415 until the market opens 930. That's it. It's just that. Nothing more to it. Now I'm going to take them off. I've got the gradients on. So I've got it graded here, right? So the daily open is almost, I think it's almost at the midpoint between, not really, okay. But you can see already it's not really respecting at this moment the levels, right? It's sort of like it went over this, but yeah, that it only plots the that will be really something that the indicator just plots it whenever you need it, right? Not that it leaves it on all the time, but only like, okay, now you need it, this information, I'm gonna give it to you now because now it's applicable. Something like that, right? That would be really awesome. Yeah. Okay, so we're below the 4 o'clock. So this is now sort of. I think we're gonna go down now. Let's see if it stays below the 4 o'clock. Then it's gonna go take out these equal highs and it's gonna stop me out because I threw my stop here. I threw my stop again. Too fast. You guys can hear this. They're doing some. Work. Yeah, sure. I'll do London every day actually. For 3 months, or yes, I think it's 3 months now that I started, and I don't think I've skipped one day unless there was no internet. I think one time there was no internet, then I had to skip it. But I've been doing London every day since I started the YouTube channel. I like London because it helps me, even though now I'm not putting on a trade or I'm just losing. If this is losing trade, it's okay. It's a paper trade, but still, it sucks though. But it gives me a lot of intel for the AM session because you're already looking at the chart, your levels, and I like London to really to use it. I think it's a luxury when you are able to watch London and to even though when you don't put a trade on, it just gives you a lot of intel. You're better prepared for a New York session. I just need some more time to warm up. I guess sometimes some days more than others, and especially when I guess it does bother me when I lose my funded account. So it's sort of like um, I'm in South Africa, but I'm Dutch. I moved to South Africa, but I'm not in the UK. No. But yeah, I'm a Dutchie living in South Africa. I just moved Is it 4 years already? Oh my God, time really flies. It's 4 years ago that I moved to South Africa. I like it here because we've got nature and we've got bush, beach, everything here. And the weather, I mean, it should be summer, but it's a little bit windy for the time of year. Yes, it's perfect. Yeah, we're in the same time zone literally then as Europe, and so yeah. So I guess I make the most of it. And I like tape reading. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. And I'm still learning myself as well, right? I mean, I'm going to be stopped out now because I think it's going to go down. See, that's what happens when you're too late to the party. But we'll see. We'll see. See, that's always when you have moved. Oh, you're in Norway. It's okay, but yeah, exactly. That's part of the reason why I moved from the Netherlands. I just didn't like the weather. It's overcrowded. Um, there's no nature, and especially autumn. Oh, I do like a good winter though, when you could ice skate and things like that. But they hardly occur. It's most of the time it's just cold, windy, and everybody's depressed. And I just thought, you know what? Let's take the, let's just do it, and I did. But yeah, sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith. Um, okay, I want to be stopped out now. Gosh, it is a bit weird. I mean, I don't know if you guys find it weird. I mean, it's sort of like a little bit off the price action that um, just everything is different in time, and I just don't. Okay, I'm gonna be stopped out. Then I have to journal this trade, and then we'll be back in the New York AM session. But because there's news tomorrow, also the day before news is always you have to be a little bit more careful, right? Because they always create more liquidity. But because the news is at 2 p.m., they might it might still run a little bit, and then tomorrow in the AM session it might be more consolidation and stuff like that. And as everything is off, who knows, right? I mean, it still had a good run. It's still going. It's crazy. Oh, it's weird. It's 4:28, 4:30. How's a 4 hour? Okay, we've got 1.5 hour to go. I'm looking forward to the day um to the New York session though. I mean, all the craziness. So you see these equal lows they formed here. I do think like last in this week, or was it last week? Um, they took it out. It was 3:30. They created a 4 hour, and then it took it out at 6 at the new 4 hour candle. So um, I wonder if they're going to do the same. But then again, this is not a continuation candle at the moment anymore, right? You can see that. So it might be that we're going to get a few of these 4 hour back and forth. So then you get like, because look, what do we have? We don't have any inefficiencies here. We just go back and forth. So be prepared for that, guys. But then again, we'll see. Uh, on the NWalk, and there's something called APHD. What is that? APH. I don't know what that is, to be honest. Okay, please take me out of my misery now, because I want to be done with this shit. What are you looking at? I don't think I have that on the indicator, to be honest. Oh shit. No. No, I don't know. I do recognize that, but I don't know if I have that. So I'm going to be stopped out anytime soon. Thank God. Let's let it happen. Then we can get back to business. See, and this is the thing. The Lux algo. The Lux algo for Enwalk Endo. I don't have that one. I think. Yeah. I don't know what that is. A EPDA APHDA. I have no idea. But I'm stuck now in consolidate. The moment I get in, I was thinking because we had such a large move, I thought, you know, it's going to consolidate anytime because we had the consolidation here, right, on the 150 to 210 macro here. I thought, you know what, it made a move, but then it did it here, and then it had to run, and that almost, I think, I actually thought we would not get that here. So I thought, okay, well, we might get more consolidation. And it did not. It just started running, and then it did consolidate, but it only had. Oh, look, we're running again. It's crazy. Um, it's a crazy market, guys. It's really crazy. But hey, it's on a mission. It's on a mission. Um, the question is it going to take out Asia's high, or is it going to do that in the pre-market or in the market? New York. Oh, we're already going. Okay, you didn't take me out. Oh my god. Okay, well, are you gonna make me sit to 10 past to 5 o'clock? Oh, this is it's sort of very bullish because it doesn't take out the, just creating other equals almost. Wouldn't be surprised if it just disregards almost a BPR. Let's see if it just, and you know, because this whole 4-hour candle is turning bullish, so I wouldn't be surprised if it, that would be crazy. Actually, it's crazy if it goes all the way up there, to be honest. But these highs are equal. Yeah, I mean everything is. It's just they're equals. They're leaving equals everywhere. It's just crazy. I didn't get stopped out, but is it going to disrespect this inversion, or this is now going to be a barrier? Because we got two of them, right? Right over here. It would be weird. Oh yeah, I saw that. So Nine was my mentor, one of my mentors, by the way. I love Nine and Anar. I saw something that they had a new. I also used their TGIF thing. Oh my god, is it going down again? Hold on, guys. Can you take me out, please? I think it's we have a large berry. Are you using it's Seek for Wisdom? Is it good? It's a free indicator that they are making, or because the TGIF is a free one. But yeah, they know their stuff. They're very good. I use a lot of I use DTT. Their time-based things. I use a lot of their root candles still. I love it. 9 in an hour. They have. I've got on my Discord. I'm sure. I asked them what can I share because I did use their indicator for those root candles that I used to plot automatically on my. So I've got some extra information from their what they've shared for free on my. Okay, come on, take me out now. See, it's of course it's gonna. There are two BP. Technically, you see, you've got two. You can call it BPRs almost. This is a BPR. So it wouldn't make sense if it doesn't take liquidity first and then goes back up. So, and also here, look at the 4 hour. You see this wick? It encapsulates this one already. So in the N walk, so it doesn't. It's not highly that it goes up. So oh, there you go. I'm stopped at. Thank God. I need to journal that, but it makes sense if you look at this candle, this wick, right? I think we're going to go further down now. Oh, outside macro. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. But is it a free one? Did they is it a free indicator? I thought it was a paid indicator that they made. Okay. Well, guys, not much trading from my side, and analysis wasn't too good as well today. In all honesty. Oh, is it free? Okay, I'll check it out because I do like the I do use their TGIF indicator as well. The only thing I miss on their indicator is the 40% on that TGIF. But I'll have a look because I like what they're doing. I love Anar and 9. I mean, hey, 9 is one of my mentors. A lot of time-based things I got with from him. Yeah, you just have to try. So shoulder goal, you just try them and then see what works for you, right? And sometimes, yeah, they are awesome guys. They are really, and they know their stuff. They know their stuff. 9 and an R. Definitely, highly can recommend them. Yeah, I love them. And you know, they're not very active, like showing off what they know. They're very quiet, and people who find them, they just know that what they're offering is solid, right? They are just yeah, definitely awesome dudes. I can nothing else to say about them. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it here for now, guys. This session, well, it wasn't good trading wise, but I guess um, it was good to get some information. It does tell me a lot that the market is a little bit off. For me, it is that I have to be very vigilant in my trading because I don't see the things as fast. For example, this is very unusual. The 150 to 210 macro as a being part of a reversal. I think that's the first time I've seen that. So consolidation, well, and actually the manipulation was, this is the manipulation. You would think this is the manipulation, right? And then you have the move here. So that was also, I remember saying that, oh, you have accumulation, manipulation, distribution. No, it was not. This was the manipulation. So this, so everything is off. I just have to, and like normally you have like, okay, you have the inversion, right? There's no retest of the inversion here. If you say, okay, on the 1 minute you have your displacement, and then you have the it goes through it. That's here. Now, where does it retest? It doesn't retest in this inversion, in the large one. No, it retests the small inversion. That's also off, right? That's already two things that are off. So there's all little things that I am. Yeah, it's just very relaxed. I totally agree. So see all these little things they're telling me, okay, it's a little bit, there's no, and also here there's no imbalances, but yet you have your normally you would have your first inversion here and then your retest, right? You always have a retest. Now the inversion retest does come, but it's here, but not in this area already, which you normally will see already. So this is a very unusual structure for me. Hey, listen, I'm only 3 years in, so I still, there's still a lot of new things, but you get used to certain to see them over and over and over, and this is just a very that just very different, and that took me off a little bit. Um, and then this was the breaker, and this was then the only one that this I do regret that I missed this one, but I don't know if I was what time I was away and I was distracted, but this should not be, I should not have missed this one, the 255. This I understand that I missed it because there was no concern, there was no retest in this one. This one, yes, there was a retest, but it could have gone, it could have failed, right? But this one is unacceptable for me, the 255 macro in a breaker. So, but yeah, so this price action is telling me to stay, I need to stay careful. I don't want to have any, I don't want to lose too much again. So just wait for really, it is like, okay, this took a little bit more time, right? 255, but it came. And then you get a solid trade. You get your technical setup, time is matching. But anything, if time doesn't match for me, or SMT, we didn't check SMT, by the way. Let me quickly, where's my SMT? Oh, I closed my trade, and doesn't, I need to add that again. Hold on. I have to look at my other, was there SMT, by the way, today? Okay, why is that missing? Why is that missing? Okay. Was there SMT today? Did we have any 15-minute SMT? Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to trade today, it will be I will be very strict on my rules. I will not deviate from them. I really need my confluences, my time, and if it doesn't match up, I'm just going to let them go because I've seen it now again. Like okay, it's just not any 15. There was no S. Oh, there was with YM and the bottom a little bit, 145 YM, but not at the when it took out the liquidity. There was no 15. They both made lower low. So I guess we're capsulated. And I guess we have SMT to the downside now. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I want. I mean, even if there's no trade, right? I appreciate you guys hanging out because I can see that you guys are not moving away because I'm not trading. So that tells me that you're here to, you just want to learn and you want to get, it's not about putting the trades on or not being a signal service, but it's about, just growing together and learning, and also from not trading, right? And why is everything so noisy here? Very distractive. People yelling and shouting. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it because I think now we're going to get the okay. I see. I see you have a question. Can you share about how you use the macros and framing or setup? You said it before. I just want to write it down if you don't. Yes, no problem at all. So time is very important. Not only the macros, but macros are the start. So the 350, the 50 to the 10 past the hour, I use a lot. So if I, for example, this candle here, right? The 255, it retested the breaker and the inversion. So that was a significant for me. If I talk about a retest, I want to retest in a macro for me to be a valid retest. If it retests, for example, this retest here, I don't know, I can't remember when I was away, it was 228. Now, the 20 to 40 is technically also a macro. It runs, but it doesn't have to take out liquidity. Now, I've seen it happen the few past weeks that it runs. But for now, if we talk about macros, it's mainly the ones 10 to the hour or 10 past the hour. But they can actually sometimes be extended to quarter to quarter past, depending on how they are running. But for a retest, I want to retest in a macro. So it has to be, so this was 255. So that was in the time zone from 10 to 10 past. So that would be a very valid run. So that's why I would be a little bit upset if I miss this, because this is a breaker retest, which is one of my favorite trades, right here, and then you get your run. So that's how I use the macros. So in this case, I would wait for a setup if a retest has to happen within the macro. Now, the activation of the breaker, for example, that doesn't have to be in a macro. That is okay. Like, for example, this breaker here, you don't mind if it runs out of, it's activated here in this run, right? You have a close 225. It's okay because it's activated, So I think I did mention it. Oh, this is a breaker. I thought when we saw this, I did say, oh, this is a potential breaker. But you just want to see it activated. Now this activated it, and then you wait for a retest. And when retest has to be in a macro, which was here, 255. And then you had still 15 minutes for a run. 306. It retraced, and then you had another run. Now here, this is not a macro, but like I said, 20 to 40 can be a run, right? Now you get consolidation here, consolidation, 20, and what happens here? 26 starts running to 340, boom. You see that? So you can use those 20 to 40 for runs. It's like if the market wants to make, it wants to get like a certain, like a higher amount of, yeah, this 255 actually retested two things. It retested, well, also an order block here. It depends on what you, so this is also a thing. If you use ICT, it depends on what you look at. I don't use the order blocks, but this is an order block. This is a clear order block here. So some people just look at the order block, right? Or you just have to draw a line, for example. Order blocks are nothing else than change and save delivery. So you can, it's just to take the open price right over here, boom. But, and especially when you have a candle, so we call the midpoint of an order block as the mean threshold. Why? Because you just use the candles. It's just not a range. It's just you. But then you don't want the candle go below the midpoint, right, of an order block. So you can use this one. It's a retest of an order block. This candle is a retest of a breaker. Here we go. It's a retest of a breaker. So that's why I'm upset that you missed this, because it's like, it's not only a breaker. So it's a very good question. And then we have an inversion, right? Here. This is the inversion here. So this is how you stag your confluences. This is the inversion, and then we make the breaker blue, because my breaker is always blue. Oh, the breaker from blue, right? So I guess that was the only high probability. Yeah, that's the breaker. So the inversion is here, the breaker is here, and your order block is here. So this structure, this is technical structure. This is a very algorithmic structure, right? And especially when it's like a little bit wonky and weird here, then this is the only area that you can, in my opinion, that is a safe area of. Now you could turtle soup this, like because we took out so many levels and we hit the 50% of that wick of that wick. So that could be one, but sometimes I do that, but then I have to have confidence in the market. I don't have that right now. Oh, look, we're going again. I think it's going to go to that level. But in this case, this is a safe area. Breaker, inversion, your order block. Now, the order block, you do want to check if there's a 2-minute, 3-minute order block. Let's check. Is there a 3 or 2-minute order? Yes, there is on the 3-minute. Here you go. You do the same thing. You just mark the opening price. Boom. That's fine. We've got an inversion here as well, 3-minute, and we've got a breaker block on the inversion. Now, if you don't see those on the 3 and the 4 and the 5, you cannot trust the move to the upside, because you need a breaker block on the 3 and the 5 to be valid, right? If there's no breaker on the 3 or the 5, it's just going to be a retracement to go back down. So you really want a breaker, and you want it to be broken. You want it to that. So, and this one is already on the 3-minute. Also, it's 224. We went over, activated the breaker. Now this could also be an entry, right? So you actually use the order block for the breaker retest. You see this here. You could also use the order block as a retest of because your breaker has been activated here. But then, is it in macro? No. But can you do it? Yes. And then when you take that risk, because your risk is smaller here, right? So if you use this one here, you have a very small risk. And then if you have a retest, so you're going to go you might lose a lot of your profit, but your stop is safe. You can add here, but you can use the order block as a retest of your breaker sometimes. Depends on the setup. Is that clear? But this one is as you can see again, you have 3 things that are retested. 255. Is there anything else? No, that's it. It's a beautiful. This is really beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see if we can find anything on gold like that. There should be one in gold. Which macro was this? 255, right? This 250. Let's see if the gold gave a beautiful entry as well. It's okay you just journal them, and it's okay if you miss. It was a very clean setup. But in hindsight, it's very clean. But the price action was very confusing for me at least. Let's see. What do we have here? 3 o'clock. Well, you retest one of the first percent fair value gaps, as you can see here, right? Bodies stay below above the 50% now. We are also retesting here the midnight. For me, that's also a retest, by the way. Time, you can also retest time. But you see here, it did it a little bit earlier, and then at 3 o'clock, it was above it already. Now, let me see. This is also not clear. It's a little bit hard to read. You see, you have your inversion here. No, not really. Here's inversion, no retest. Look at the inversion. There's no retest of the inversion. So we're coming to mark this area. This is not, no, look at gold. I wouldn't have traded this, to be honest. In all honesty, I don't see a break. Well, I do see a breaker, but this is a breaker, but it's weird. Look at this one here. Then you take this one here. It's just engineers liquidity is taking it out here and then retesting in the first percent fair value gap, going higher. Yeah, no. I think we're going to my level. Hold on. Are we going? I think we're going to the daily open now. Look, we're in a break. We are in. What time is it now? Right, 4:55. I said it's gonna make me wait another. Now let's see if we can find it. If we could have found an entry here. Breaker? No. Are we gonna retest it? Around the 1 minute? Yes. Is there an inversion? It doesn't retest anything. It's just going. You see, this is this is really, what time is this? 4:41. What happened at 4:50? You see the only one, there was only one setup, and that was that one. Now, silver bullet, let me see, after 3 o'clock, do we have any silver bullets? No, not really. You see here, it just created equals. You see that? And this is also first presented fair value gap. We didn't even have a proper silver bullet. There's no silver bullet. Maybe on the higher time frame? Not really. So that tells you already something, right? Did we go into a fair value gap here? We did. Okay, I guess then this was a silver bullet on the 15-minute. We went into this area here, which was this one here, and then we went down, but yeah. Okay, let's see if we're going to reject here, or we're going to go straight up to this level now. Yeah, but it's still, this is, of all the mess, this is literally the only one that I see that I could have taken. But if there's only one, right? If I only see one in such a long time, I mean, it's sort of weird. There's not even. Is there anything else? I think we have to go to the 30 seconds even. Well, let's see if this macro. I mean, let's watch this. I do want this level to be taken out, to be honest. I want to see how this macro is working. So I just love tape reading. I mean, I don't really mind to not being a trading just. Now, why do I have a London high here? Oh, okay, I got it. It's above here. It doesn't mean it's here. It's the other line. Okay, what is here? What do I have here? I don't know what this is. Get this. Get out. Now, talking about ping pong, do you see what I mean with ping ponging? So we are in consolidation. You can see this. This is just what it's doing, right? It's using the event horizon and the end walk. So how many 15-minute candles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see the bodies are above the end walk. So this is what I mean with so when you see that, if you go to the lower time frame and you see where Charlie, come in. So this is the level of the end walk, right? So if you could have framed in all these candles, 15-minute candle, it goes back and forth between the end walk and well, these not, but at some point it does. But you will see that just start putting them on your chart, and when you have an inside day, start monitoring this, and you'll be able to frame some trades. Now, Sigfurism, wouldn't be the down close candle at 439 and the break of that be a breaker? Wouldn't be the down close candle at 439? 439. Why is that not the breaker? What do you need for a breaker to be a breaker? Oh, but you're talking about the down one, right? Yeah. And if I look at this one here, I actually see this one actually caused this one to be a breaker. It created the move to the downside here. This moved down because it took out the low here, created this breaker here. So, because you have a low, a high, a lower low. So this is a bullish breaker. So that move to the downside, these up, down close candles create a bullish breaker here. But it's this one here. Yes. So, and then this candle here, the 443, the 444, activated the bullish breaker here. But you need this structure. You need for a structure like this, you need a high, a low, a break. You need there has to be liquidity taken, which is the case here, and then you need a high, high, low, 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 and then a break of it. So it's breaking. So this is now broken. So now the bullish, so here you get your activation. You get an immediate retest at 448, which is possible because we said like, okay, sometimes we can add 5 minutes to the macro, right? So if this happens, your run will be a little bit off. So then you be careful. If it starts at 448, you don't want the full run. You be careful at 8 past. Here you can see it already, you know. So this is a bullish breaker. I don't really see any bearish breakers. We don't have any bearish, but you see that there's nothing bearish here. It's just creating high, high, high. Now, can this be a bearish breaker at some point? Here. This area. These down close candles here. 1, 2, 3. Could that be a bearish breaker? Liquidity is taken. It doesn't have to take this liquidity. This is already taken. If we get a run down and it activates, it goes lower than this one here, then we have a bearish breaker, right? The retest of 447. So this is not a bearish breaker yet. You need a you need a bearish breaker. It needs to go below it, right? So this area only has activated this bullish breaker here. And as you can see, we're bullish, right? These two candles. Why? We have a liquidity grab, minor, but you need it. There needs to be a liquidity grab at the bottom. And I guess we have nothing, you can clearly see we're in consolidation now. Like I thought this would happen a little bit sooner, but you can see it here now, back and forth, back and forth. But it's a bullish breaker, activated, but you want to retest at some point, right? Well, there is no retest. There is no retest yet. Well, yeah, okay. If you call, yeah, I get what you're saying. This goes out of it and then it goes back into it, right? 448, but 447. It technically it can be because then you extend, like sometimes you can make the hour a quarter to quarter after. So in this scenario, look, it did do its job, right? So it is, but it didn't go fully to the extent that it goes all the way up here. But hey, listen, the macro is not done yet. We still have 5 more minutes, or technically to quarter past. We'll watch it. I really would like to see go over this area and then go up here, but we've already been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, talking about a bearish breaker, I do, that this is a bearish breaker, right? So we're actually between, so this is actually an area you don't want to be in, like I said. We have a bullish breaker here. We have a bearish breaker here. Let me mark both of them. This is an area you actually don't want to be in. The bullish one here. I'm on the 15. Why? We've got a low, a high, a lower low. So this took out the liquidity and we activated right over here, right? Retest. I'm on the higher time frame, so mind you. But that tells you a lot. Like, okay, this is an area you don't engage. Now we have a bearish breaker here as well. So you don't dibble in the middle, like I said. We've got a high, a low, higher high. So this took out the liquidity here and we broke through it, right? So this is an area you want to actually avoid. Exactly. So that's, but do you see the difference? Do you see that why this is a bullish breaker and this is a bearish breaker? I'm just showing it on that. So now we don't dibble in the middle. So this is an area we want to stay out because we are sandwiched between a bullish breaker and a bearish breaker. You can see both had liquidity grab on both sides, right? So this three up close candles are the bullish breaker, liquidity grab, activation, and the activation went back into the bearish breaker. So it's going back and forth between the breaker, it's basically just going back and forth now, as you can see, right? So you want one of them to see disrespected at some point. Hey, shoulder gold. Sometimes the retest is just a tap. Sometimes you'll see a retest could just be the two candles, just the wick just touches the wick. Sometimes it goes to the mid, sometimes it goes fully into the breaker area and it just doesn't, it depends. It is, a retest means you just don't want it to go outside of the breaker box. So you highlight the whole box. Yeah. But the best ones are the ones that just tap into it and go just maybe a little bit in the breaker block. Like if you have 3 candles, for example, you don't want it to go below. For example, this one, I sometimes only mark, but you don't. You have to mark the whole area. I sometimes just mark the first one. Like if it's this has a large wick though, but at some point you'll start recognizing it. Yeah. Hey, but when you have a large breaker, you have a large stop loss. So that's why you have to. Hey, but still, this 3. I looked at this. It was still 2-hour trade, easily. So this one was still a 2-hour trade all the way to that 79, 70.9, 70.5%. Yeah. So So when you see two of them like this, it's a no. This is like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do something else. We're going to close our charts, and I'm going to come back when we are not between two breakers anymore. So this is a good. I guess it's still a good session, right? We still learned something. And for me also, I did not see that. I did see the breaker at some point, but I didn't really register. Like, oh my God, we're most likely, you know. Now for me, this is a lesson as well. I'll tell you why. I think I mentioned the breaker, but I thought, thinking in a scenario like this, if I see this next time, because the breaker was already here, right? And this was already here as well, because this was created in Asia. I should have known, because I said, oh my God, we're going into consolidation because we had such a large move. But I did say somewhere, I remember saying, like, yeah, we don't dibble in the middle. But I could have known that we could have got the move to the midpoint, so event horizon, and then go into consolidation. Why? Because it needs to touch this back and forth. So I could have anticipated the run when we grab this. So this is also a very good lesson for me. Like when we grabbed a lot of liquidity, we had grabbed a weekly low, we grabbed the session low. It was also another low that I could have taken this trade, but I was already hesitant because I was going to go in consolidation because we had such a large move. But no, I should have known we're going to go in consolidation in this area after we made, go over this one, and then so I could have known that this liquidity would have, I could have framed my trades up to here, 770. Look what I missed by not, but listen, I learned because now I will not, because I always look at the higher time frame. I could have framed literally a turtle soup because I do turtle soups. Could have had, well, let's say 163 points up to here. Let's put it here. Let's say 100 points. Let's say I take it from 50 points. Yeah. But just mark them on your own chart so you start recognizing them on the 15, and then next time we know now, okay, you know what? If we have a liquidity grab, we can expect it to go up until it goes over the first intermediate term high, and then you don't want to be sandwiched between those. It's those 2 points, right? You see those highs, one high here, 1 point. Oh, let me just close the door. It's starting to storm again. Go away. Come. Go, go, go. There you go, my dog. Come on, you lower the balcony. Um, yeah, so even when you don't trade and you look into it and I see this, like, oh my God, I missed this. So you've got an intermediate term high formed, right? We were already trading after two, so I should have seen this. And then you have one here. And this is then the area where we can expect the consolidation next time. And I was worried here already. And I was distracted a little bit, but here, I'm going to mark this box, give it another color. Now I am, um, let me mark it like this here. Oh, no, I don't. Let me give it another color. I'll just give it a volume and balance color here. You see the yellow box here? Now that is the area that I should have been worried about. Why? Because it's between the intermediate term low and the intermediate term high, right? So the breaker ends here, the breaker ends here. And that's dibble in the middle. So for me, I should have not been worried until this area here to take my trade. Now, this gives me, that's why I learned so much about doing this stream as well, um, because I do more analysis, and for me also not trading helps me also not to see things more clearly. But so no, don't dibble in the middle. I said it, and I didn't really, register the data properly. But yeah, so I could have easily traded up to here. Now it went higher, but I don't care. I probably would have traded up to the event horizon. That's it. Still a good trade. So you don't want to be in between. Hey, see my blocks just went, they disappeared. So, oh, internet, internet issues. So yeah, I think that is very insightful also for me. Don't dabble in the middle, but you can trade, and especially after days like a large run, I guess, you look for the area between two. If you see two breakers, you just trade it to the midpoint, and then you just you close your chart. So we could have stopped at 3:45 already because we knew we're in the we are in the area. Hello, Anjinka, how are you doing? So, and we're in consolidation right now. So yeah, I think it was a good session, even though no trades. But yeah, we learned. I mean, I learned something again. I already knew this, but then again, you have to apply it, right? That's also a thing. Like you see it, but you sometimes don't see it straight away, even though you don't register it properly. But here we go. Um, so this happens all the time when you are in between two of these two breakers. It goes into consolidation. It is what it is. So, well, guys, I'm gonna see you. Hey, Anyan. I've got all new. I think Anyan, you are new here, right? I was just actually on the going to log off. Been here quite a while, even though it was not really a good training session, but a very insightful session. We learned a lot. But we didn't lose any. I didn't lose any money, so that's good. I'm trying to find that indicator giving you the event. Thinking, yeah, I can show you the indicator with event. It's just an N walk. Any N walk, any N walk indicator should have the event horizon. Now, the kryptonite doesn't show it properly, so I use this one here, the N walk plus EH, and you have to show event horizon. But check out the ones from 9 and Anar as well. I don't know if they're available. You have to sign up to their maybe to their Discord. That could be. Oh, and Jinka, we are. Hey, I can tell you one thing about NQ. We are in consolidation. Why? We are between two breakers. A bullish breaker, a bearish breaker. You know what that means? This is the bearish breaker, by the way. The bearish breaker. Let me make it closer here. A bearish breaker on the 15-minute, and we have a bullish breaker. My internet went off and it changed the breaker. Here we go. Now, what does it mean? We're in the middle. Oh, thank you, Seek for Wisdom. Yeah, it's by, is it 2 degrees? Oh, so, 2 degrees made it for them. Okay, perfect. Yeah, 2 degrees is, 2 degrees, everything with 2 degrees touches, it's gold. I mean, you can't go wrong with 2 degrees. So we're in between two breakers, bearish breaker, bullish breaker. What does that mean? Consolidation. That means indecisive, and we don't know at the moment. Yeah, and London swept Asia low, but the question is, are we going to make it all the way up to Asia high? We've seen it's Asia made a really, really large move, which is highly, so that means we have to go all the way up here, right? 960. Oh, it's not that far anymore. But the question is, are we going to retrace from here back to the downside, or are we going to go back up? We are dibbling in the middle. We say we don't dibble in the middle, and we are dibbling in the middle on NQ. So at this moment, you just don't know. This is really one of those times that you don't want to trade, and you want to see one of them get rejected, because we got equal highs on both sides as well, right? It took out the liquidity, but look, it's just a minor sweep. It's very minor. On the higher time frame, you consider this equal, right? Equal, huh? Now we've got also equals here, but also it's swept. It's all similar, right? So I really have no clue, to be honest, at this moment. I really need a break in one of the two sides and get more information. But the only trade was that when they swept it then up to this point, and the breaker was here already. I should have seen that. And then you could. I was saying, oh, we're going into consolidation. We're going into consolidation, but I thought it would go earlier, but it was clear that it would do it between the two breakers because that's what it always does. You always go into consolidation when you are in between two breakers. There's no clearer. That is how you identify um, consolidation. When you see this already, you actually already know your answer. You just mark the two intermediate term, the high, and this the intermediate term low, and that area will be your consolidation area. But what is interesting, I do want to say something, guys. I am saying that, oh, we're in dibble in the middle, but what do you notice about the bodies? The bodies are not going below the event horizon, which is the midpoint between two end walks, and the bodies are hardly going below. Let me just mark it properly. I'm just doing the wick to wick. So I'm just marking the area of the breaker. The bodies are hardly going below the midpoint, right? So that gives you some information. I'm just, yeah. Shoulder goal, you don't want to trade anything right now from this area. It's sort of like you really want a new. I would almost say you want this dealing range because this is a range, right? You actually want the range to be technically have a new dealing range. You actually want to disregard this whole range, to be honest, because you don't know if it could go up here and then still reject here, or it could go like it could go all the way into this bearish fair value, bearish breaker, and still go down, right? It could go all the way into this breaker. And then what you see happening a lot, even though when it starts moving, you will see it's sort of a seek and destroy profile. So even though when it goes out of consolidation, I will be there, but we might see it in the AM session. You will see that these breakers, they go back and forth, back and forth. You see, oh my God, it's gonna go lower now. But you'll see that it doesn't take out the low because it's just going into this bullish breaker, and it's sort of like it can retest it all the way to the downside, and even a wicks would go outside, but the body stay inside, so it will go back up again. And that's what you see. That's why we say we don't dibble in the middle. So you really want it to see break one side, so one dealing range, so one side of the dealing range you want to be broken before you start entering a trade. I highly recommend you not to trade this until either or low or high has been taken, because you will know. Just mark them on your 15-minute chart and watch what price action is going to do. I would be surprised if it's going to break one. Once it breaks out, that it does it straight away. I would suspect we go to the upside because the bodies are staying above the. But just, I mean, see here, like this was my TP, right? That's this. Let's see if what happens here. It's in the breaker, and then it most likely will go down again. So this, I think this TP is valid for me, the trade that I put on, because that's a point of liquidity, but it's still in that bearish breaker. Does it go higher than that, or is it going to go back into the range and go back into the bullish breaker? So this is typically what you see with seek and destroy. This is one of the scenarios how seek and destroy is, how it works from breaker to breaker. So keep it on your chart. Um, Shoulder goal. I think I just go watch the I went over it a couple of times. I think you should watch it again. Um, you want me to go over it again? The 1 minute, just how I would frame the breaker. I meant for the bullish breaker. You mean the trade, this trade? You mean on the 1 minute? Would know the trade of that bullish breaker. Because of the fifth, this area is for me a no-go zone. This bullish breaker now is no go because of this bearish breaker, but this bullish breaker here, let's go to the breaker here. Whoa. Hold on, I need to close some. We've got a storm. It's crazy weather here. This is crazy. The wind is just um I need to close all the doors. We had nice weather, now it's storming again. weather is really, really crazy at the moment. So the bullish breaker, like if I would have identified already these breakers, right? I would have identified, okay, I can take my trade up to, you see where I draw the line? You see that's up to 24,763 here. So if I would have taken my, let me go here. Now, let me see, do I have this information? Yes, because this intermediate term high was already formed at midnight. So I have this information. So I would take this wick here. If I would see this breaker and this, and I did say it, I think I see a potential breaker here, right? I did mention it. So then I would take this high here, 767. Okay. Now, let's say I already had that information, right? On the 1767. And I would say, okay, we're going in consolidation. Now let's see, where's the high? I would take this high then. Okay, I cannot take my trade higher than here because we have a bearish breaker here and I'm playing it off a bullish breaker. But on the higher, I know the 15-minute then, so I would only frame my trade to this high then. So what happens? We had the 150 to 210 macro, right? So in the macro, it created these highs, and then we went down. So for me, then it was okay. What I normally do, even though when we don't have it doesn't have it's not activated because you need a breaker needs to be activated. What do you need for a breaker to be activated? You need a liquidity grab, which we had here, right? But technically, if it would not even have taken this candle already would have been taken these lows out. So it's lower than this. So already this is enough for this to become, for it to become a potential breaker. Yeah. So you need a low. So a breaker is you have a low and a lower low, and that lower low needs to take out some liquidity, which is in proximity of the breaker. Now the breaker is still not activated. You just have created a low. So then you wait. And then this candle here activates the breaker. And that's where you wait for your retest because you have everything is lining up. You have your breaker here. You have a lower low, which grabbed liquidity. Now it grabbed this liquidity and it grabbed more liquidity. But this would have been, if we wouldn't have this would have been enough already for this to be a breaker because it's lower than this. It took out the liquidity, right? So either this or this doesn't matter, but you have a lower low. For a bullish breaker, you need a lower low, and for a bearish breaker, you need a higher high. So either or, yeah. So and then we have at 223, it starts running, and this candle here, this candle 225 activates the breaker. Why? Because it breaks it, it goes through it, and it closes above it, right? So this here is your activation of the breaker. And it doesn't matter when that happens. It can happen outside macro. It doesn't matter. It's activated. And then you wait. Then you wait for a retest. And that happened here. The 150, 355. And the retest is, the breaker is actually here. And now I'm looking at it, it doesn't even retest it. You see that? It's not a retest, guys. It's not a retest on the 1 minute. I'm seeing it now because it is see, everything is off. It's not a retest. This is the retest, but it's not. It's outside breaker. It's outside macro. But this one only retested the inversion and the order block. But anyway, now on the 30 seconds we might have a higher. Let's see on the 30 seconds. And on the 3 minute, it might have been a retest, but let's see on the 30 second. Because then we can add the, but you see on the, if it doesn't work on the 1 minute, it's sort of off, but look, on the 1 minute, we do have it does give the retest. But on the 30 seconds and on the 3 minute as well. You see, then the wick is part of it, but it's not on the 1 minute, so it's a bit weird. But anyway, so that's why you always have to go through the times, right? No, you conclude the you take the whole everything, the wick to everything, because that's why I'm showing you the whole wick, because you see on the 3 minute it just taps into the wick. You have to take the whole the whole the full range of the breaker. So if it's 3 candles, you take the 3 candles. When you start, you do like when you get more experience, you just take you'll start taking just the top one, but that comes with experience. Um, yeah, sure, go. Please just ask the questions. I really don't mind. If I don't have time, I need to do some stuff, but I need to do it anyway. But no worries. Just ask your questions, and yeah, just I don't mind if you do it here because I can show you. But if you have more questions, yeah, just drop them in the Discord. No problem. Don't feel that you can't. That's why I started this channel. So it is to help. And listen, the breaker was my first thing that I learned. So if I can help people to speed up their process with the breaker, hey, it's one of the best PDRAs, I think. It's the safest one, especially when you start, when you have a reversal. It's your third confirmation of the reversal, maybe actually the fourth. But yeah, it's a good one. So yeah, ask me. But you can ask me here. I mean, I still have time. I mean, I still have, what time is it? 12:31. Yeah, you can ask me here, and then after that I'll go. So if you want to ask me here, don't worry, you can do it because I can show you. Because this is a good example, right? You can see the difference now. The 1 minute doesn't give the retest. The 3 minute does, but then only the wick, right? So sometimes you have to in weird situations, but normally the 1 minute always gives the retest. Mostly of the time. See the 1 minute now, you see the breaker is here. You see? And then you have this retest, but that's outside breaker. This one doesn't even come close to the 1 minute. So that will be, you would have missed it, right? If you're only looking at the 1 minute. But then again, the wick, you can, it was sort of like, the 3 minute, the wick would be included most likely. But that comes with experience. So let me know, Shoulder Gold, if you have a question before I go. But look, this is just horrible price action. But it's good that we have it now. So maybe in New York session, AM session, let it just, let it consolidate. It's fine. We don't care. And then in the AM session, after it's been doing this, we might have some normal price action. Go do your stall. I'll catch you later. Okay, yeah, I guess you're almost. Okay. I'll wait. See, that's why I started the Discord, that we can do voice as well. So it's also easier for you guys, right? So you don't have to write all the time. And then we can, do a get together. I actually planned a get together on Sunday, but there was not much. I think people are busy, and I are some issues as well. Weer heb ik niet. What a horrible weather. ICT makes its FUGs from wick to including wicks. Do you know what I mean? Yes. Well, a FUG is from a wick to a wick, but if there's a volume imbalance, you include the volume imbalance as well. So, like for example, here I see one. Like, if you would learn it would be from here to here, right? So this is a fair value gap. Hey RP, we're just going over some stuff. I think it's how long have I been streaming for now? Or you mean in months or weeks or just the hours now? Oh, 3 hours ago. I'm streaming 3 hours already, but and 3 months, 3 hours, 3 months, 333. Good time. We love 369 anyway. So when normally you do it from wick to wick, right here, like so. But when you see a volume imbalance like this, I'm gonna end any time because we're just doing some. Shoulder Gold has a few questions, so we're just going over the questions and then we're gonna end, and I'll be back in the AM session. Did you just join? Yeah, we're just doing sort of like a little bit of educational stuff now. It's very insight. I mean, you know, when you just so you see this wick to wick, right? But you have to include the volume imbalance when you do this. So this is a difference, and this ICT does that as well. So you always want to include, if even when you have a fair value gap, you include the volume imbalance. So then it's not only when you have close candles that are up close and they are connected, then you do wick to wick. Is that what you want to know? From wick to wick, including wick in opposite side. Is that your question? Like for example, this one here is just you have wick to wick. It's always a 3 candle formation, Shoulder Gold. You need 3 candles to make a fair value gap, right? Yeah. But in this example here, you don't do wick to wick. In this example, you do wick. You include the volume imbalance here. Is that clear? And ICT does that as well. Actually, ICT didn't always share that. I think he started sharing that lately. But when you see volume imbalance, you include it. So, and that's also when you use these in this indicator, the first presented fair value gap, it plots them from wick to wick. So you have to, if you see there's a volume imbalance, you have to override it yourself, okay? Because it doesn't do that automatically. That's a little bit of a, it's not programmed to do so. So, for example, here as well, this is a suspension block. But then if you would mark this, this is from here. This one here, you've got 2 volume imbalances, right? This is a suspension block. If you mark that area, you have to mark it including the whole, with all the imbalances as well. So this one is from here to here. So it's from wick to wick, or from imbalance to, or you include the imbalance. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's good that you ask questions, Shoulder Gold. I mean, it's a lot of information, and ICT is sharing a lot as well. So even though I do believe that everybody has to go through core content, I do think there are some shortcuts with videos that the more experienced ICT traders have already watched, and we can, okay, you know what, you don't have to watch this. He is, you know, going more into this video. It goes more into depth very quickly, blah, blah, blah. But you do have to go through core content. On the Discord, I made a list of for the beginning. The first, it's 12 months, but I took away a few months, and I think, you know what, if you're interested, you can do that afterwards. But to get to that level for your basic knowledge, well, you do have to go through core content first. The ones that he does, and yes, you have to sit through the videos. And then I do think there are a few shortcuts, but there are some things you have really, it needs to come from him first, and then it's okay if other people, because you need to know, because people do give it their own spin, right? It happens. Like I maybe have, you know, when you see things, and so I think it's very important that people know how he teaches it, and then you can make up your own mind. And even though when somebody says this, you know, oh, that's bullshit, because I know what he said, right? And otherwise, what he said, it dilutes his concepts, and it's wrong. Some people, you know, I might make mistakes as well, and I might teach it the wrong way. So you have to be careful for that. So that's why I do think that you have to learn from him, and then if other people use it and can speed up your learning curve, that it's okay. But it's important that you are aware that what he teaches, that you are aware of how it actually, because a lot of people, I mean, I've listened to people like, that's bullshit. That's really bullshit. That's not true. And they really, you know, they teach people, and some people say, oh, I only watch that person because it's short and I don't have to listen to him. But then you just listen to a version of how people interpret it, and that could be good enough for you, but you sort of like miss the idea that it's, you know, for me, ICT are building blocks. And if you get the logic, you start building your own little you start building your own models and stuff like that. I'm getting to the point that I'm starting to do that now because I've got more information, and I do listen to other people, but he is my mentor, and I love how other people. Some people use the breaker in a different way, and I learned from them as well because they just they explain it a little bit differently, for example. But then you still need to learn it from him, what he need, what the idea is, and then you can always give it your own twist. And and then if people are telling you bullshit, that's important. You need to know if people are telling you bullshit. If I'm telling you bullshit, you tell me, okay, you're wrong. It could be that something gets, I forget about it, or I explain it maybe in the wrong way, or that happens after a while if you don't use something for a long time, right? People should call me out. Hey, listen, that's not correct. I don't mind. That's how that's how it goes. Yeah, the event horizon is 50% between two end walks. It's always the midpoint between two end walks. But you want to plot it automatically because it shows up when the moment you are below one end walk, it will show the one. It doesn't show all the midpoints. The moment price goes below one end walk, it will show the one that's applicable. Yeah. So shoulder goal, that's what I did. I didn't put a lot there, and I did it on purpose. You know what? I thought, let me make one for beginners, and I just thought, oh, and then this. I said, no, I'm just gonna put the core content there, and I kept a few months out, and I changed the sequence of the months. So if you go to the Discord to ICT, I put on the basic that I think that is which you start with, and that's the basics, and then we'll take it from there. But that's why I put the core content and only the ones that I think that are important on there, and I kept a few out. So just have a look there. Maybe it might help you. But obviously it links to his work. But month 4 is the most important. That's the his PD arrays. But month 1, 2, and 3 give you a lot of information on the how smart money thinks and how they book and stuff like that. So you do need it. And premium discount and just the basic stuff. But after month 4, month 5 is important as well. But then I left a few months out, so it will speed up a little bit. Yeah, just hang out here. I mean, London. Um, I think it was a very insightful session, especially with the. For me also, not noticing the two breakers and that we're in between them, and that that's how you can spot consolidation. And we know now for a fact that it might take a while, but and then you want to see you really don't want to have any FOMO until it breaks really away from it. And you'll be fooled a lot of the times, but what you will see happening is that price goes below it, but on the 15-minute it will become a wick. So you do see on the lower time frame there will be price action going below it, but it slams back, right? So on the higher time frame you see a wick like this. But if you go to the 1 minute, there is price action here. So you have to be very, very careful with that. So that's why I'm saying you just want one of these. You just let it break let it break the range and then anticipate. So just let this. Otherwise you're going to be fooled, and it's going to just. This is how people lose accounts and evaluations. So midnight, yeah. So no, midnight is the start of the algorithmic day. So the 000, yeah. The daily open it opens, but it's not the start of the algorithmic day. But midnight is the start of the algorithmic day. Yeah. Thank you, Diego, for subscribing. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave it here for now. Hey, sure, go. If you have more questions, just write them down and come back and just, like today is a perfect day to go over stuff, and it actually helped me a lot because I'm like also like, oh shit, I missed this, and now I could have taken the trade, understanding where the two breakers are, and then trade safely up to this, this point without any fear of going into consolidation, because after a large day on Asia move, you have to expect consolidation. But now I could have framed exactly the moment where it would start. But I was a little bit slow today. But anyway, a lot of journaling to do. I didn't lose any money. I hope you guys didn't. So no trades, also no losing money. And let's hope that let this consolidate, and then we wait. I will wait. I'm not going to do it. I won't trade before 10 a.m. So I'll make a stream after 10 a.m. Eastern, and then we'll take it from there. And if there's no trades, we don't trade, right? We just wait. We just wait, and we keep our money, and we keep our standing. I mean, I've lost enough for this week already. I mean, so okay, guys, that's it. Hey, Diego. Yes, you're welcome to you. Yeah, I'll see you. I'll see you again, and then I'll get to know more of you. But I do need to do some stuff now before. Well, I still have some time. But yeah, I'll see you guys later, and thank you guys for joining, and especially on these kind of sessions when it's not much to do. And I appreciate it a lot that people hang out, even though there's no trading and stuff like that. It tells me a lot. That's exactly the kind of people that I was hoping for, that would be part of my community, and it is. It's just really amazing. So thank you again, guys, and I'll see you later in New York session. Stay safe. And don't trade until we broke that range, right? The two breakers. Mark them on your 15-minute chart. You'll start recognizing them. Bye-bye.